Today we are going to go over the story of channeling Horus the Falcon Sun God back on 4/8, April 8th of 2021, and this whole entire story of this journey and the message that was received a year later on May 9th of 2022. I received a message and I wrote that we are in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of the veil, living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation time loop. And at that time, I had no idea what I was even saying. Looking back, even just months after that, I was like, why did I write that? It's very strange. But that same day, I was researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, the fall of the Roman Republic. Romo slays his twin brother Remo, so they both were enslaved by the king, and they both escaped their enslavement from the king, and they were building the new city of Rome, and they were arguing over each other's ideas, and Romo slayed his twin brother Remo. So I'd researched the story on the date 5/9, May 9th, and so the backstory of this, the day before, on May 8th, I was on the phone with my mother for 4 hours talking to her, and I was driving back home from Moab. I had my first camping trip out in Moab, and my tent blew over, and the wind, there was this massive windstorm, and it blew my tent over and ripped a giant hole in the tent. And the symbol for the tent on your camping sign, it's a thorn. It's a burr. It's basically Thor's rune, the masculine burr. So keep that in mind. So for a hole to get poked in that tent, it was kind of symbolic. And yeah, this is on the 120th day of the year. And when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, and your 7th myotic cell division is 128. The frequency of the flower of life resonates at 128 hertz. So these are going to be the building blocks of this matrix reality and the foundational roots of this entire story, because everything that was happening were basically the building blocks of this Thoth Jet pillar that I would eventually create on 8/8 of 2022. So backing up to that trip to Moab, my tent gets blown over, I get a hole ripped into it to where it's like, well, I guess I'm going home now. Drive home, a 4-hour drive to get home, and I call my mother and talk with her on the phone for 4 hours, and she's telling me the story about how she grew up in Colombia, and her father, he owned a jewelry shop. Him and his wife, my mother's mom, my grandmother, and she used to tell me stories about how they'd smuggle fucking jewels and shit. He owned 2 jewelry shops, and I never met this guy. I briefly met my grandmother when I was 3 years old, and uh, I didn't know her very well. I just had like very uh, short memories of her. So, but anyways, my mother told me that they would sail by ship and stop at all the ports from Colombia to Italy. So he had homes in Colombia, Venezuela, and Italy, and Panama. And yeah, just never met the guy. And he owned 2 jewelry shops. I grew up pretty poor. This guy didn't give my mother shit compared to what he gave to his other families. And his other families were loaded. So now that I've been studying Freemasonry and the Order of the Jesuits and this Roman Catholic military order and this whole story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, I'm finally realizing that my father and my mother's father, who used to rape her when she was a child, he used to drug her and rape her so she wouldn't go to school. And this is the karma and the colonization trauma that I'm healing from, that I didn't know anything about any of this shit. So whenever you're doing that shit to your child, then I'm pretty sure you're involved with all the other men that are doing that shit on a like mass scale level. And that's what colonizers do. These human traffickers, colonization is the foundational roots of human trafficking, and that's what this whole journey has been about. And today they're supposed to be releasing the Schmepstein files, I'm saying. But yeah, we're gonna be. I have broken this motherfucker down. You guys better double double strap your diapers on because I've been waiting to tell this fucking story for 3 years. I built the Thoughts pillars back on 8/8 of 2022, connecting frequency with time in our Gregorian calendar system, created by German Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius, a German Jesuit priest, a mathematician and astronomer. So for anybody to think that they can decipher the Gregorian calendar,
oh, it's supposed to be a 13-month calendar, and it's supposed to have 28 days, and
yeah, problem fucking solved. You solved the fucking riddle. You gotta be a fucking mathematician and an astronomer to be able to investigate the Gregorian calendar created by German Jesuit priests designed to mentally enslave our motherfucking asses. Created by Freemasons designed to enslave your ass. Created in medieval times when the encomienda system was a system that gave colonists the right to genocide and enslave people for the land and the resources on the land. And think about Earth's resources. Earth's resources. What does that even fucking mean? Well, precious metals, they're ionic compounds. Gold, that's an ionic compound. And how do they get that shit out of the ground? They mine it out, and that word means mine. That shit's mine. And they mine it out. They get the slaves to mine it out, and then they get the rock. And here, let me just flip this around for you guys here. You guys don't want to look at my ugly ass face. So whenever I went on this journey, I was brought to Sutter's Mill on 12/8, December 8th, the 343rd day of the year. Like the speed of sound being 343 meters per second, and when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, and the 7th Matic cell division is 128, like being here on 12/8, December 8th, the 343rd day of the year, and 7 times 7 times 7, that equals 343. That's the speed of sound, and whenever we speak, sound is produced. And the mill, that's the wheel that spins, that crushes up the rock into a fine powder to where they can extract the gold from the slurry it creates. And what's powering this wheel? It's a circle representing the divine feminine. That currency, like money is currency, and the banks are holding that currency in. That's the river. That's the water representing the divine feminine. And it's turning this wheel, which is also represented by the divine feminine. It's a circle. It's a mill. Just like the top of the zodiac wheel would be Aries, and he's representing the 0 degrees mark, and the entire wheel that represents the divine feminine. It's a mill. It's Aries. Mill. It's Aries, like the militaries, the god of war, representing the circle. So anyways, the currency that represents the feminine is turning the wheel that represents the feminine. It's being held by the axle, which is also, it looks like a straight line, but it's a cylinder. You look at it from the one view, it looks like a straight line. You flip it forward, it's a circle because it's a cylinder. It's the axle that lets the wheel spin. So, but I'm kind of rambling here. So this wheel being the mill that's crushing up the gold, crushing up the rock that creates the slurry where they can extract the gold. The gold is an ionic compound. It's an ionic character. You ionic character, you. And the air, that's the person that receives the wealth from the people that pass away. In this case, all the people that were genocided from colonization. So when you combine these words together, you get the mill, the ion, air, the millionaire. And James Marshall, he's the one that panned the first gold, setting up the California Gold Rush of 1850, and your fugitive slave act of 1850. And your mill, ion, air, that's where you get your millionaire. And the Marshall, that's who enslaves them. That's who rounds up the fugitives. Named after James Marshall. That's who panned the first gold. So your Earth's resources, that's your 9th solfeggio tone in music. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re. 9th solfeggio tone, and that represents the divine feminine. And when a woman is pregnant, it takes 9 months for the woman to birth a child. So our DNA is literally encoded with Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon runes, and this is what creates the English language and alphabet. The alphabet is derived from Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon Germanic runes, and it literally fits perfectly over the geometry of our DNA. And our DNA has a 5-fold Fibonacci symmetry and 20 algebraic elements of Fermatic vacuum. The 5 and the 2 creates the worm. Anything that you multiply and divide by 2, it's always going to have the same number minus decimal points and zeros. And so the rune for ice, which don't let these curved lines fool you, that's a straight line. It's a masculine. It represents ice. It's a pole. And whenever you put those two words together, pole and ice, you get that. But yeah, your gematria for human trafficking being 550, and 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like your resolution 181 established on 11/29, and 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like your resolution, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law on 5/28 by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson. So 55 million, speaking of human trafficking being 550 in gematria and connecting with these colonization codes, 555 million indigenous people were eliminated during European colonization. It led to global climate change. So another way to say that is during the elimination of nearly 55 million, or 90% of indigenous people, like your 90 degrees in Freemasonry, 90 degrees square, a little ice age happened. The elimination of nearly 55 million indigenous people from American, European colonization led to the global climate change and a little ice age. This is metaphorical for Isa, meaning deception, and concrete. This concrete that you're driving on, it's all ceremonial, putting everything in concrete. So let me get back to the story of what happened here. So rewind back 2007, I was reading the book The Flower of Life, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life by Drunvalo Melchizedek, and it mentions the story of him channeling Thoth, the ancient god of wisdom, and he exchanges his knowledge of sacred geometry for the Kundalini meditation. So long story short, after I would get done reading this book, I would draw the Flower of Life, set my compass on the table, and the night before I'd rearrange my room completely. The next day, I read the book, drew the Flower of Life, set the compass on the table, went and got some tea in my truck, came back, parked my truck in the perfect position for the sun to be in the perfect spot, my truck to be in the perfect spot, and the table that I'd rearranged the night before was in the perfect spot, and I set the compass in the perfect spot for this image to be reflecting up on the ceiling. The sun was shining on the Jeep, the light was refracting off the Jeep into the window of my room, up through the glass table, and that was on the ceiling, to where I was like, dude, this is fucked up. The Flower of Life book is about Thoth and the Falcon Sun God in ancient Egypt and all this shit, to where, yeah, after experiencing reading this book and then having this experience, I took a picture of it, and this was back in 2007, and fast forward to, let's see, the date 4/8, whenever I would channel Horus, the Falcon Sun God. So on 4/8, I would channel Horus, the Falcon Sun God. This would be 117 years after Crowley. I was reading the Book of the Law, and I was at the part where he was in Cairo, and it was noon sharp. It was 4/8, and I'm reading the book. At that part, I'm like, I'm gonna look at my date and time, and it's 4/8, noon sharp, and 117 years on the dot, because it was 1904 and I was in the year 2021. So 1904 plus 117 years equals the year 2021. So what's crazy is that the King's Chamber in the granite sarcophagus in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza measures the vibrational value measures 117 hertz. And when you multiply the golden angle times 4.8, remember I channeled Horus on the date 4/8, you get 660 hertz. The date 6/6 equals 157 days. When 157 minutes, when 117 minutes equals 157 in time, your 37th prime equals 157. 370 minutes equals time equaling 1810 in time. There's 61 circles in the flower of life. And the flower of life is on the wall of the Osirian temple. Osiris gave birth to Horus. Isis and Osiris gave birth to Horus. The hours, switch the R and the U, spells hours, representing time. I'm telling you guys, strap your fucking diapers on. I'm gonna fucking lay it all out today. Been waiting 3 years to tell this fucking story. Crowley passed away on 12/1. 11:70 in time, it converts to 12:10 in time. When, child, 117 years after Crowley, the granite sarcophagus of the King's Chamber measures 117. The vibrational value measures 117 hertz. And so on May 8th, I would talk with my mother on the phone, and she'd tell me to research the story of the Romo saying his twin brother Remo. So she used to see these statues of Romo and Remo suckling off the wolf mother. So after channeling Horus 12 days later, I would do my first Thoth tarot card reading, because I bought these Thoth tarot cards not knowing who the fuck Thoth was, and finally realizing that he was in the ancient secret of the flower life of the book that I read 15 years ago. And just like, that's the same story that Trumbolo had. He fucking channeled Thoth 15 years before he even realized it, and had that same cycle happening. So this number 15, remember this number 15, because it's huge in the story. So to channel, or to pull the first Thoth tarot card on the date 4/20, the 110th day of the year, like the number 11, I'd pull the number 2 of disc, change. And remember these yin-yangs, because they're going to play a major part in the story. So to pull the 2 of disc, change, Jupiter and Capricorn, I pull out my phone and check out my star maps, and Jupiter's in fucking Capricorn. I'm like, what the fuck? So I move on, and I pull my next tarot card from the Thoth tarot card deck. The whole reason why I even bought the Crowley deck or the Crowley Book of the Law, was because these were made by Crowley. I bought these cards before I even bought the Book of the Law, and I put them away because I read this pamphlet and I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into? I was like, this shit's way. The cards that I gave my daughter before this were super generalized, like a really just positive deck. Any card that you pull were like enchantment, enlightenment, and some like positive, super cheesy message. Like those were the cards that I worked before this were super just generalized, positive, like affirmation type cards, to where, when I got into the Thoth tarot cards, I didn't know who Thoth was, and I read the pamphlet and I was like, man, I don't think I'm ready for these things. And I passed down my old cards to my daughter. My son had come down from Texas to visit me in Utah. I bought him a Jeep. We replaced the spark plugs and a motor in the window, and got him gotten some wheels and sent him back home to where he was rolling in a Jeep, and I had my little father-son moment for the first time in a while, to where so anyways, I passed down the cards to my daughter, and my son and daughter left, and Scout was with me. I was living in this house where I was doing my sushi parties and building bikes and living the American dream, and realized that all that shit was just a big fucking lie. And here I am on this journey. But whenever I passed down those cards, I went and bought these new Thoth tarot cards, not knowing who Thoth was. I bought the Crowley Book of the Law, read that book, and after reading that book and having that experience of channeling Horus on 4/8 at noon sharp,
12 days later, on 420, I'm like, I think I'm ready to fucking do my tarot card reading. Because, yeah. So the second card that I pulled ended up being the Three of Disc. The Three of Disc works Mars in Capricorn. And I look at my phone on the star maps, and Mars is in fucking Capricorn. So 2 planets being in 2 different constellations. And then channeling Horus 12 days before, I was freaked the fuck out to where my next move was I grabbed my Native American medicine totem cards. I was like, okay, I've had these cards for like 15 years. I trust these cards, and these are the most advanced cards that I have, and I just felt safe doing a card reading for this. And sure enough, I pulled a fucking wolf card. Mind you, this is on 420. Your 42nd prime is 181. I would channel the 181 symbol connecting frequency with time on 519, but that's still here in the future. We're still on 420 of 2021. So I pulled the number 15, the fucking wolf card. Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181. And they're suckling off the wolf mother. My mother tells me to research the story to where. So this that's in the future. Like, I haven't even got to that yet. And I'm pulling the wolf card after channeling Horus and pulling the Thoth tarot cards for my first time. And 2 planets are aligned, or 2 constellations. Yeah, 2 planets are aligned in their constellations. And so after I got done changing my pants that I shit, I pulled my 15th. I pulled the wolf card, number 15. And page 97. 97 minutes equals 137 in time. Like your 33rd prime, 137, right? So, wolf is the pathfinder, the forerunner of new ideas who returns to the clan to teach and share medicine. Wolf takes one mate for life and is loyal like a dog. If you were to keep company with wolves, you would find an enormous sense of family within the pack, as well as a strong individualistic urge. That was a hard one. These qualities make wolf very much like the human race. As humans, we also have the ability to be part of a society and yet still embody our individual dreams and ideas. In the Great Star Nation, wolf is represented by the dog star, Sirius, which legend tells us was the original home of our teachers in ancient times. Sirius was thought to be the home of the gods by the ancient Egyptians. This is when I shit my pants again. And is still considered so by the Dogon tribe in Africa, and it still stands to reason the Native American peoples would formulate the same connection and adopt wolf people as the clan of teachers. The senses of wolf are very keen, and the moon is its power ally. The moon is the symbol for psychic energy, or the unconscious that holds the secrets of knowledge and wisdom. Baying at the moon may be an indication of the wolf's desire to connect with new ideas which are just below the surface of consciousness. Wolf medicine empowers the teacher within us all to come forth and aid the children of Earth in understanding the great mystery of life. If you've drawn Wolf's card, you may be able to share your personal medicine with others. Your intuitive side may also have the answer or teaching for your personal use at this time. As you feel Wolf coming alive within you, you may wish to share your knowledge by writing or lecturing on information that will help others better understand their unique path. See? So, knowing that shit, after channeling Horus on 4-8, and then pulling these 2 cards on 420, your 42nd prime is 181, and then, let's see, on 5-9 of the Lemuri, let's see where did that go? Tripping. Okay. Yeah, so on 5-9, the next day after 5-8, after I talked on the phone with my mother for 4 hours, and she told me to research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo and the whole suckling on the wolf mother statue, you know. So on 5-9, I would research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, and I would realize that this is the same day. It's the first day of the celebration of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, the fall of the Roman Republic and the rise of the unholy Roman Empire. In 44 BC, this is insinuating 44 hertz. So the etymology of rho means man. Mo means more. Re is the ninth harmonic, equaling 99 hertz. 5/9 Lemurian, that's the 129th day of the year. So for re, more ninth harmonic, more 432 hertz frequency. 432 hertz is equal to the ninth solfeggio tone re. So on 5/9, after posting the story the day before on 5/8, where I was literally going to research the Lemuria on the 128th day of the year when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, right? So I post this fucking picture of 44 hertz versus 432 hertz. This is Romo. This is Raymo. Ray equals 432 hertz, the ninth solfeggio tone, and more man, more 432 hertz equals this. So this brings me to, we're gonna skip ahead just to like, I don't want to like build this up too much without giving you guys the juice. So this is where the 6 mirrors the 9 at this 90-degree masculine equaling L. Your Freemason square is the square, that's the L, and that compass is the letter A. It creates the alphabet, the alphabet. The O carries det with the vowel to L system. Add the E to the L, it spells the word L. So this masculine L, add the E to it, it spells the word L. So the 6 mirrors this 9 at the 90-degree masculine equaling L, which is the square. That's why they worship the wall. You got to go kiss the wall and become a Freemason, and you'll see why. So 6 solfeggio tone, that's La equaling note A and 440 hertz, your masculine frequency. 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. L mirror and flipped is a 73. The 6 mirrors the 9 at this 90-degree masculine. It's L. Add the E to it. It spells the word EL. Mirror and flip it. It's number 73 when 6 hours and 9 minutes equals 7:30 in time. Note A. Note A equaling La, creating your language, your labels, your algorithm, your allopathic medicine, your all mind, your law enforcement that enforces it's the authority. The author is the person that writes the book. So yeah, your 6 solfeggio tone equaling La equaling note A and 440 hertz. Your 9th solfeggio tone equaling Re equaling note D when note A is tuned to 430 hertz. And watch how the story goes, kids. 69 plus 69 equals 138 when 138 minutes equals 218 in time. The El Dorado Jail was founded in 218 of 1850 before California became a state on 9/9 of 1850. Like the 9th harmonic being 99 hertz, the divine feminine frequency. The currency, Earth's resources. And what does El Dorado mean? That means the gold. An ionic compound? Like the mill ion air? And that equals Ray. That's your Ray sources. It's an ionic compound equal to the divine feminine frequency. You're going into the earth to grab this precious metal, and it's an electrolyte. It's an ionic compound, and the elites, they like to get Earth's resources. So for 69 plus 69 to equal 138, and 138 minutes equals 218 in time, the El Dorado Jail, the gold, founded in 218 of 1850, like your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Marshall penned the first gold in 1848, setting off the California Gold Rush of 1850. And 218, that mirrors 812, and 812 lines up 990 hertz. The divine feminine frequency, your currency. And how is it the currency? Because 432 hertz, that is equal to Ray, the divine feminine frequency. And on 5/9 Lemuria, I would channel that one in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of this all-turd frequency. Your Freemason compass and square in capital letters, turd frequency, time loop simulation. The 9th solfeggio tone is Ray. Your 9th harmonic is 99 hertz. 199 minutes equals 139 in time, and 139 minutes converts to 219 in time. Taking us the date 219 equaling 50 days, equaling 70 weeks and 1 day. Like your oil meter flipping is 710, 71, 71. 7 weeks and 1 day equaling 4 million. 320,000 seconds, like 432 hertz, is equal to Re, the divine feminine frequency. Earth's ray sources, your oil. Just like how they crucified Christ on 4-3, and the next day is 4-4, like 44 hertz, Nazi science, and 430 minutes, that equals 710 in time. I'll give you guys a visual of that. Christ was crucified on 4-3, age 33 and 33 AD. The next frequency above 33 hertz is 44 hertz. The next day after 4-3 is 4-4. And he was rejected. When you double the frequency, 43 plus 43, that equals 86. You could say that he was 86th, just like on Hiroshima on 8-8 or on 8-6. 86 minutes equaling 126, like Kobe Bryant being 86th on 126, using those same numbers. Abraham Lincoln's massacring hanging of 38 men on 1226. So 5-9 the Lemuria, Romo says it's 1 per Remo in 44 BC, 181. Triple the frequency. Christ was crucified on 4-3, right? Let's just triple the frequency. 43 times 3 equals 129. Like, yeah, let's, where's my book of sevens here? Oh, this is it right here. Let's, we're gonna skip ahead real quick. So, channeling the thought that Jed Pillars on 8-8, August 8th of 2022, 8-8, after channeling the 181 on the 139th day of the year, the ninth harmonic being 99 hertz, 99 minutes equal 139 in time, on the 139th day of the year, 519, that's whenever I channel the 181 electromagnetic frequency. The electromagnetic frequency, this 181 symbol here, and whenever you flip it on its side, it's the electromagnetic field. If you were to flip it forward, it's the number 11. It's an electromagnetic field. You see that? It's just two magnets. That's your positive, your negative, positive, and your 181. When light passes through a spherical water droplet, white light, your plasma, if lightning was passing through this spherical water droplet, it would be refracting at 42 degrees. We're talking about channeling the light, the 181 symbol here. When light passes through a spherical water droplet, it refracts at 42 degrees. Your 42nd prime is 181, like your 181 symbol that was channeled here on 519, the 139th day of the year. And 42 degrees is built into the slope of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Remember we channeled Horus on 4-8 of 2021? So this is the angle needed to perceive light refraction. We're talking about light, electromagnetic field. Photons represent the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. Photons represent the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, from radio waves to gamma waves. The only difference between them is their energy. So photons represent this entire spectrum. We're only seeing through one little tiny spectrum, and that being the electromagnetic color spectrum. The fundamental particles of light representing the smallest possible packets of electromagnetic energy travel at the speed of light. So when light passes through a spherical water droplet, it refracts at 42 degrees. I channeled the 181 on 519, 2022, the 139th day of the year. After channeling that, we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on 5-9, 99 minutes equaling 139 in time. Your ninth harmonic is 99 hertz. And channel the 181 on the 139th day of the year. When light passes through a crystal or water droplet, it refracts at 42 degrees. Your 42nd prime is 181, and 42 degrees is built into the slope of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the angle to perceive light refraction, right? So we're channeling the light. And so I essentially just drew 4 circles, 2 lines on each side. I was like, oh, that looks like a 181. Then I saw the electromagnetic field. I was like, hey, that looks like that 181 symbol. I flipped it on its side, outlined the 2 circles, and drew the 2 lines. I was like, that is the 181. And I saw the 1331. And yeah, see how it creates the X? That's the holographic image of a photon. It creates the X. If you look up closely to your skin, it has a bunch of little X's on it. It absorbs the light. Your skin absorbs the photons. And this electromagnetic field here, 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time, like your 181. And this electromagnetic field, it's a transformer. That's an equal sign. When you flip that on its side, now it's transforming things like when you multiply that thing by three times, 11 times 11 times 11, it equals 1331. Like your 1331 equaling your 181. So the x, this is creating the x, and that's a multiplier. So you're multiplying, this thing's a multiplier and a transformer. It's electromagnetic. So backing that thing up to chilling this ninth harmonic on the 129th day of the year, the same day that the Lemuria starts. I'm researching the story for the first time ever of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo in 44 BC, and I'm posting this chart, 44 hertz versus 432 hertz, not knowing what the fuck any of this means, and I'm writing, we are in the photon belt, the ninth harmonic in a 44 hertz world, the power of the feminine Taurus overtone in the ninth harmonic turns the frequency to 396 hertz, allowing us to see the truth through all. I didn't even know anything about Freemasonry yet. I'm writing Freemason compass and square in capital letters right here. All the false manipulated programming throughout his story, not knowing what any of this shit even meant yet. So, yeah, looking back at this shit is insane. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. Your seventh magnetic cell division is 128. The date 128 equals 139 days after 9/11, and 9/11 is a pivot point in the calendar system. Remember, 99 minutes equals 139 in time. So the date before 5/9 is 5/8, equaling 128 days. So you're going to see how these building blocks of this matrix system, if you can just get through just a little bit of the storyline here. Just trying to get good at telling the story. So whenever light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, refracting at 42 degrees and 420 minutes. That equals 7 o'clock in time, like 7 rays, 42 degrees. See that? 70 minutes, that equals 110 in time. The date 420, that equals 110 days, like 1-1. Like 1-1, your electromagnetic force. And there's 7 circles in the seed of life. And there's 61 circles in the flower of life. And 19 circles in the flower of life. 19 mirrored and flipped is a 61. 610 in time equals 1810 in time. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like your 181. Like the 181. 61 mirrored and flipped is a 19. 190 weeks equals 1331 days, like your 1331. So this is corresponding with the flower of life that's on the granite wall of the Osirian temple. So now that you know this, 61 circles in the flower of life is equal to this electromagnetic force and this 181 connecting to the light. I channeled the light on the date 5/19. So Remo is a drum brand. Flip that crown forward. It's a fucking circle representing your crown. Your crown is the divine feminine portal. That the O in your iris is the crown. That's what's absorbing the light. This number 15 is representing the absorption. These 2 circles in there are representing the Taurus field within, sucking in the light, pulling in the light. The 16 is the projection, the sprouting, the masculine. They don't ever talk about the 15. They just keep the feminine hidden from you. And the drum, tum 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 tum. This is representing your heart, your fermatic vacuum, the divine feminine frequency. The first sound that you hear when you're in mother's womb, mother's heart. Unless you're born from a fucking egg and you're a reptile like Peter Thiel. So, your harmonics. So I created these thought colors using the number of broken space-time symmetry and photon absorption, the golden angle, 137.5, the number that we use to measure electromagnetism and broken space-time symmetry, 137.5. It's found in the spirals of pine cones and sunflowers. As you can see, 137.5 observed in the sunflowers and pine cones, spirals. Just like phi, 1.618 is observed in spirals of pine cones and sunflowers. Just like 137.5, so they're corresponding with each other. See that? See how phi is also built into the slope of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the angle needed to perceive light refraction. We're talking about light refraction, electromagnetism, like the 181. 137.5 times 8 equals 110 hertz. The root harmonic of 440 hertz in the second octave. Now we're talking about music. the root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave, 110 hertz, 220 hertz, 330 hertz. This goes all the way up to 990 hertz, the top of the crown chakra on the Thoth, the Jed pillars. We're building this biofield with the electromagnetic force. The word Thoth, Thoth, can be spelt with +1, -1. Oh, +1, -1 spells the word Thoth. It's showing us this electromagnetic force. That's a positive, that's a negative. When you flip it forward, you get the electromagnetic field. One of these guys, you're positive, negative, you're negative, positive. And you take apart the word Thoth, Thoth in capital letters, you get 5 sets of 11, and the crown. The O is the crown. The O is the crown. If you're to look down for the top view and look down, your crown would be the circle, and the dot in the middle would be the 0-point harmonic vacuum of your heart. So, the Godhead. So your 5 sets of 11, your 11th Fibonacci is 55, and 11 times 5 equals 55. 5 sets of 11. Your 55th octave above sound is light. And yeah, the date 55, lining up with 126 days. The frequency sound of the sun is 126 hertz. Thoth is just showing us this mathematics of the light through this sigil mathematic system. So using the golden angle 137.5 and building this pyramid of increments of 8, you're getting these 9 harmonics of music. A, E, A. So your 8.8 alpha waves, your third eye audio lining up with note A. So building this with the number of broken space-time symmetry and photon absorption. You can imagine that being a photon and that being your eyeball. Whenever it's absorbing the light, when that gets the radius and they get to the center point, that's the golden angle. That's like the angular version of the Vesica Pisces. We'll be getting into the Vesica Pisces here too. So the number 137.5, measuring electromagnetism, and it's found in the spirals of pine cones and sunflowers. It builds musical harmonics and Thoth, the Jed pillars. So knowing that, channeled Horus, the Falcon Sun God, on 4/8, and channeled the 181, or channeled that we're in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us to glimpse the veil, living in the 44 hertz world. Channeled the Wolf card after pulling those 2 Thoth tarot cards where the 2 planets were in their constellations that the book said that they would be in. So after channeling the Thoth, the Jed pillars, let's see, hold on. Let's skip that part. Where the fuck is that? Oh my god, dude, what did I do with this? Shove it up my ass? Sometimes, man. It's a question my fucking... Doesn't matter how much math you know. When you're stuck in this human body, it's like we're just like meant to be mildly retarded no matter what. Yeah, give me 1 second while I fucking figure this shit out. Okay, I'm realizing that I need to go back to this one story that I fucking didn't finish. Woosah.
god, dude. Oh my god. Okay. Fucking mildly retarded over here, kids. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're channeling Thoth and Horus. If you're stuck in this human body, we are all indoctrinated into this thing. It is rough life. So yeah, channeling this Thothajid pillar on August 8th of 2020, connecting frequency with time. This is the original version that I would draw, and 8-8 lined up with 852 hertz, 7-7 lined up with 741 hertz, 6-6 lined up with 639 hertz. I'm lining up the Lords of the Nine from the Thothajid pillars, from the Lords of the Nine from Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. Reading this Emerald Tablets book, and the halls of Amenti he was initiated into the underworld, and he met the Lords of the Nine. And after studying this book, I was like, who the fuck are these Lords of the Nine? Why do they start the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's only 7 of them? So eventually I just, one day on 8/8 of 2022, that's whenever I connected them with the 9 solfeggio tones, or the 7 solfeggio tones, 3 with the 396, 4 with the 417, 5 with 528 hertz, the solar plexus with 639 hertz, and I mirrored them, and I mirrored and flipped the 6, and I got 69, your zodiac Cancer, the twins up at 7-7, being your Gemini. Whenever you mirror the 7s, you get the Gem and I. That's the zodiac sign for Gemini. And Taurus lined up with 88, and Aries lined up at the crown with 99. And so Aries, Taurus, twins, Gemini with the twin triangular foldings of the throat, 69 at the heart. The sun transits the sign of Cancer, sitting at 90 degrees on the longest day of sunlight. And the sign of Cancer basically represents the longest day of sunlight. The most electromagnetic day is lining up with the most electromagnetic organ of the body, but I didn't even know any of this shit yet. I'm just like literally building this and connecting these zodiacs, not knowing that this was going to be some serious shit. So long story short, Libra would end up being at the bottom here at the root chakra, like the scales, like Anubis. The roots are representing the underground. The roots grow in soil. Seeds get planted in soil. So for the root chakra to represent soil and the roots, this implies that this is the underground. Anything above the root chakra is ground level. So 44 hertz, your sacrum chakra represents ground level. So going back up, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn lines up with the heart. Your heart's a capacitor. Aquarius lined up at the throat chakra. We breathe vapor. Aquarius representing water. And Pisces ended up ending this thing. But this was the original version that I would end up digitizing. And I don't want to bore you guys too much, but whenever I went to Skinwalker Ranch and see the statue of the Wolf Mother, Remo Slace's twin brother Remo, whenever I was at Skinwalker Ranch, I was there on 4/8, the date of the new moon solar eclipse, when CERN got turned on and the guy that thought up the Higgs boson passed away and all that weird shit was happening on 4/8. That's the date that I was channel Horus on 4/8. So I was in Skinwalker Ranch, and the fucking Wolf Mother pulls up over here. Get her pregnant little belly, but she looks a lot like this dog, the Wolf Mother, and I don't know. I just took the picture and I was like, this is fucking weird. So, channel the Thothajid pillars on 8/8. On 5/19, the 139th day of the year, I would channel this 181-1331 symbol along with the 1144 hertz heart monogram that would line up at the heart chakra. So these 4 electromagnetic frequencies that literally align with electromagnetism mathematically. So on 5/9, I'll channel that we're in the 9th harmonic, right? And then 9th harmonic equals 99 hertz, 99 minutes equals 139 time. And then the 139th day of the year on 5/19, that's whenever I channel this 181 symbol on 5/19. What's even crazier is, let me skip ahead real quick. Walter Russell, he wrote
the book The Secret of Light. He believed that all matter, including physical objects and living beings, are essentially crystallized light, slowed down and shaped by consciousness. I channeled the 181 electromagnetic force on 519. He was born on 519. He passed away on 519. I just wonder if this shit is all just one big giant simulation. That's what I'm wondering, if this whole entire thing is just one giant simulation. So, let's see here. Yeah, let me back it up real quick. So hydrogen is water, and the shape of it is hexagons. And when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. And when we start to stack sevens, we can build matrices. We can build calendar systems. 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. Your ninth Fibonacci is 21. 21 plus 21 plus 21 equals 63. And 63 times 3 equals 189. We're triangulating things. 63 times 3 equals 189 when the date 77 equals 189 days on a leap year, lining up with 630 hertz. The date 63 equals 154 days when 77 plus 77 equals 154. We're starting off with the sevens. So 63 minutes equals 103 in time. 103 mirrors 301 when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. The date 630 equals 181 days. You see that? Remember, 70 minutes equals 11:10 in time. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 11 equals 11. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, refracting at 42 degrees. Your 42nd prime equals 181. And the 7 is equal to the 42. Your 42nd prime equals 181. Equal to the flower of life. So I didn't finish the story here, so I got sidetracked somehow. So now that you know that the 61 circles in the flower of life is equal to this electromagnetic force and the 181 symbol, 61 circles in the flower of life, so 610 in time converts to 1810 in time. Your 181, right? Your 37 degrees. In Freemasonry, we have 37 genes, the mitochondrial DNA, located in the solar plexus. 528 hertz, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528. Anyways, channel this 181, it's connected to this electromagnetic force, and the 61 circles in the flower of life. 610 in time converts to 1810 in time, right? So 61 circles in the flower of life times your L11, your electromagnetic force, that equals 671. When 671 million miles per hour, that's the speed of light. The speed of light can be accurately expressed as both 671 million miles per hour and 299,792,458 meters per second. The speed of light. We're talking about channeling the 181 electromagnetic force, the light. So the speed of light being 299,790,458 meters per second, corresponding with 671 million miles per hour. 671, right? That's the coordinates of the Pyramid of Giza with the angle needed to perceive light refraction. 42 degrees built onto this thing. Your 42nd prime is 181. 42nd prime is 181. The coordinates of Giza, 299,792,458 degrees north, like the speed of light corresponding with 671 million miles per hour. 61 circles in the flower of life times L11, your electromagnetic force, equals 671. Now, 671 minutes equals 11:11 in time. And your Thoth, your THOTH, drop the positive and negative in the 0, you get your 11:11 Thoth crown. Minus 370 equals 741. Leo mirrored and flipped is 037. Like 370, 11:11 minus 730 equals 381. L mirrored and flipped is a 73, like 730. So once again, 11:11 minus 370 equals 741, and 11:11 minus 730 equals 381. L mirrored and flipped is a 73, Leo mirrored and flipped is 037, right? So 381 minutes, that equals 621 in time. 381 minutes equaling 621 in time. That's your longest day of sunlight, summer solstice. We're talking about this equation. We're we're getting the speed of light. And the coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza, your electromagnetic force 181, and the electromagnetic force L11. We're getting this equation from all of that. So for 11 minus 370 equals 741, and 741 minutes equals 1221 in time. The winter solstice, the longest day of darkness, equaling 1221. Remember, 370 minutes equaling 610 in time, equaling 1810 in time. Your 181 electromagnetic force. The date 73 equals 181 days remain. 37 years, 73. See that? In 2023, we had a full moon on 3/7, full moon on 7/3, and on 4/20, the 110th day of the year, we had a new moon solar eclipse at 42nd prime, being 181. 11 days. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181, and it's equaling 301 in time. 3.01% of the year. So yeah, just showing you folks how this mathematics system is supremely flawless. And we're going to get into, I feel like going in the direction of 3i Atlas just because today it's made its closest approach to the sun or to the earth today. Today, 3i Atlas is making its closest approach to the sun. We're just going to skip ahead to kind of just go off track here. So, remember the story of Christ being crucified in 4:3 and 430 minutes, that equals 710 in time. If you double the frequency, 710 plus 710, that equals 1420. That's the frequency of interstellar object 3i Atlas, 1420 megahertz, the frequency of the hydrogen line. You see that? And the I, that's the 9th letter. And 3i Atlas, that's 39 Atlas, 3 hours and 90 minutes. That equals 4:30 in time. And Christ crucified in 4:3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. Like your Christ oil mirrored and flipped being a 710. The word oil in capital letters, flip it upside down, it's the number 710. And 710 plus 710 equals 1420. Right? So 71 minutes, that equals 111 in time. And your oil mirrored and flipped is a 710. And your 15th harmonic of 44 hertz, that equals 6,600 hertz. The date 710 on my calendar cipher system lines up with 660 hertz. When light passes through your Christ oil, it refracts at 42 degrees. And your 42nd number, the date 42 lines up with 66 hertz, your 42nd prime being 181. But yeah, for 71 minutes to equal 111 in time, the holy frequency, this is the frequency that releases the plasma endorphins within the hypothalamus chamber, in between your two temples. Remember the temples within. So your 15th harmonic being 660 hertz. The date 710 lines up with 660 hertz. Your oil mirror and flipped is a 710. Your 15th harmonic, watch this shit. 71 minutes equal 111 in time. 15 times 111 hertz equals 1665 hertz. It's the frequency of 3i Atlas. Interstellar optic 3i Atlas has been associated with two distinct radio signals. A confirmed natural one at 1665 megahertz and 1420 megahertz. Frequency of the hydrogen line. The hydrogen line, 21 centimeters, 1420 megahertz radiation from hydrogen gas, used to map hydrogen in galaxies. See that? When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. And yeah, these are the building blocks of the inner monologue, the thought digit pillars. This is just the throat chakra, 741 hertz, lining up with 77 on the thought digit pillars. Whenever I built this, the frequencies that would line up going down, Gemini, Aquarius, the twin triangular unfoldings of the throat chakra, your water, your vapor, your breath, hydrogen, the icosahedron, platonic solid representing water would line up here. So 741 hertz, 71 minutes equals 1221 in time. And 1221 hertz would line up here. 1133 hertz would line up going down. So the date that would line up on 1133 hertz would be 924. The date that would line up with 77 would be the date 77. The date that would line up at 1221 hertz would be the date 1221. So watch this shit, because it all corresponds with this frequency. Thinking in terms of frequency, get rid of everything that you've ever been indoctrinated with. because the Board of Education was created by the Rockefellers in 1902 using those same numbers, and they spent $129 million, and they created Standard Oil in 1870, and 1870 in time converts to 710 in time, and they created the Flexner Report that would revolutionize all of modern medicine in 1910, and 1910 in time converts to 710 in time, and drop to zero, 1910, 191 minutes equaling 311 in time, and the day 311 equaling 71 days. That's whenever they would declare that one thing by that one place, by that one company that's also involved with the Flexner Report. So yeah, that's down the road here. We're gonna get into that shit. We're gonna get into a little bit of colonization of the hacking into our throat chakra here. So for the date 12/21 to equal 355 days on just a regular year, when you double that frequency, 355 plus 355 equals 710. 71 minutes equals 111 in time, when 111 plus 1110 equals 12/21. Your oil mirrored and flipped is a 710. Christ was crucified on 4/3. 430 minutes equals 710 in time. See that? 710 plus 710 equals 1420. The frequency line of hydrogen being 21 centimeters. 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. We speak 7 solfeggio tones, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. 7 notes in music, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The speed of sound being 343 meters per second. 7 times 7 times 7 equals 343. The date 12/9 equaling 343 days. Christ was crucified on 4/3, when 43 plus 43 plus 43 equals 129. The date 12/9 equaling 343 days. The speed of sound being 343 meters per second. 7 times 7 times 7 equals 343. When we speak from the third chakra, sound is produced. Breath is water, vapor, continuing trace amounts of hydrogen gas along with many other compounds. 21 centimeters of the hydrogen line, right? 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. 21 plus 21 plus 21 equals 63. 63 plus 63 plus 63 equals 189, when the date 77 equals 189 days on a leap year, lining up with 630 hertz, and the date 63 equaling 154 days. 177 plus 77 equals 154. All right, so for the date 710 to line up with 174 days remain, 1221 days equals 174 weeks. Remember, 741 minutes equals 1221 in time. We're here at 741 hertz. 1221 hertz, the date 1221, lining up 355 days. 355 plus 355 equals 710. Your Christ oil, mirrored and flipped, crucified on 4/3. 430 minutes equals 710 in time. 71 minutes equals 111 in time, and 111 plus 111 equals 111 plus 110 equals 12/21. Your winter solstice equaling 355 days. 355 plus 355 equals 710. 71 minutes equals 111 in time. 111 plus 110 equals 12/21. If you can't tell that that's all part of the same equation, you're kidding yourself, because you can even look at the other side of the third chakra. Yeah, when we look at the other side of the throat chakra, 1133 hertz, let's just look at this version, because this shows the equation of him being crucified in 4/3, lining up with the frequency 67 hertz and 68 hertz. 67 minutes equals 107 in time. Skipping down to 10/7, like 107 in time. The date 10/7 lines up with 1147 hertz on the thought-to-jet pillar calendar cipher system, and 707 minutes equals 1147 in time. Crucified in 4/3 equaling 93 days. 94 days on a leap year. 93 minutes equals 133 in time. 94 minutes equals 134 in time, when 133 plus 134 equals 267. Round and round we go, watch. 77 years equals 924 months, and 924 the date lines up with 1133 hertz. 77 years equals 924 months. The date 924 lines up with 267 days. Remember, 133 plus 134 equals 267 from that shit. And yeah, 924 equaling 267 days. 267 minutes equals 427 in time, when 427 minutes equals 707 in time. Like 707 minutes equaling 1147 in time. Line up with that shit. So 427 minutes equaling 707 in time. The date 427 lines up with 117 days, when 77 minutes equals 117 in time. Round and round we motherfucking go with this thing. Connecting with this side, because 430 minutes equals 710 in time, and 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. And yeah, 355 plus 355 equals 710. Date 1221 equals 355 days. So going back to this side, 924 equaling 267 days. It doesn't stop. because 2 hours and 67 minutes, that equals 317 in time. The date 317 lines up with 77 fucking days on a leap year. 1133 hertz, 11 times 33 equals 363. When 3 hours and 63 minutes equals 403 in time. Christ crucified 403. Be written as 403 or 43, lining up with 67 hertz on the calendar cipher system. When 6 hours and 70 minutes equals 710 in time. 670 minutes, that equals 1110 in time. Like 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. And 111 plus 110 equals 1221. When I said I break fucking matrices, I break fucking matrices, kids. It took 3 years, but yeah, I built this 3 years ago, not knowing what the fuck it was, but I didn't have this much detail. I just had the skeleton bones of the thing, and yeah, I had to literally study this for 3 years of just destroying everything that I had and sacrificing everything that I had to get here. But now here we are, finally getting to tell the story. My phone's gonna get shut off here on 12/21 if my phone's not paid by tomorrow. I owe $300, and yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna come up with that, but the fact that the story is finally done and I'm getting to tell it, I could have paid my phone bill this month, but I printed out all this work that I've been organizing for the past 3 years, and finally I'm like, should I tell the story, or should I pay the phone bill and lose my fucking mind and not tell the story? Because I need to show the receipts as I'm telling the story. So let's go back to 3i Atlas. And yeah, this shit's crazy because this all connects with the story of channeling the ninth harmonic on the 129th day of the year. On the 129th day of the year, 5/9 Lemuria. That's whenever I channel that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. Now it's the same day that I'd research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. Christ was crucified in 4-3. Triple the frequency, 43 times 3 equals 129. 5/9 equals the 129th day of the year. So, this corresponds with your 12th Fibonacci, 89. 89 minutes equals 129 in time. 8 hours and 90 minutes, that equals 9:30 in time. Christ was crucified in 4-3, age 33 and 33 AD, equaling 93 days. 930 minutes, that equals 15:30 in time, equaling 3:30 in time. The dimensions of the Vesica Pisces being 153 in width, and if you take away the other line, the eye with just the width, it looks like the reptilian eye. Looks like Peter Thiel's eye. Looks like Erica Kirk's eye, right? But yeah, the Vesica Pisces, this represents the yoni, the divine feminine frequency. Your Christ oil. So 430 minutes equals 710 in time. 7 weeks and 1 day equals 4,320,000 seconds. 7-1, your oil, 7-1. Oil married to 710 equal to 432 hertz, your divine feminine frequency, the currency. So, get into that in a second, but let's go back to 3i Atlas. So 3i Atlas, 3i, I is the 9th letter. 3-9 Atlas, 3 hours and 90 minutes converts to 4:30 in time. How fast is this thing going?
Moving at roughly 137 miles per hour, 58 kilometers a second.
7 weeks and 1 day. That equals 13.70% of a year. Like 5 days equaling 1.37% of a year. Your V equaling your yoni, the divine feminine frequency. See how that's the symbol of the woman's vajayjay, representing the currency? That's the 33rd prime, 137. Christ was crucified at 4-3, age 33, and 33 AD. That's the 33rd prime. What other speed is it going up to? It's also reached up to 153,000 miles per hour. Like the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces being 153, and Christ being crucified in 4-3 equaling 93 days, and 930 minutes equals 15:30 in time, converting to 3:30 in time. Like the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces, and the speed being 153, 100,000 miles per hour, and also 137,000 miles per hour. 58 kilometers, huh? That's funny because the date 7-1 equals 580 hertz in my calendar cipher system. And 58 times 3 equals 174 when the date 710 equals 174 days remain. That is fucking weird. The date in 710 plus 710 equals 1420 hertz. Frequency of 3i Atlas, 1420 megahertz. See that? So for Christ to be crucified in 4-3 equaling 93 days, and 43 times 3 equals 129, and 89 minutes equals 129 in time, and 8 hours and 90 minutes equals 9:30 in time, like 4-3 equaling 93 days. It's pretty strange. 43 times 3 equals 129, and 430 minutes equaling 710 in time. Your oil mirror flips to 710. When did they discover this thing? 3I Atlas is a rare interstellar comet. It was discovered on July 1st. 7-1, huh? When does it make it its closest path to the sun? Oh, it's done 1029. It's making its closest path on Earth today on 1219, using those same numbers, 129. No big deal. Oh, yeah. The frequency being 1665 hertz and 1420 hertz. 710 plus 710 equaling 1420 megahertz. Cruise 543, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. And 3I Atlas, 3-9 Atlas. I is the ninth letter. 3 hours and 90 minutes, that equals 4:30 in time. 71 minutes, that's the holy frequency that releases the plasma endorphins within the hypothalamus chamber. This thing is glowing blue, like the blue star Kachina. So the holy frequency being 71 hertz, 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. Your 15th harmonic of 44 hertz is 660 hertz. The date 710, your oil mirror flip, the date 710 lining up 660 hertz. Number 71 minutes equals 111 in time. 15th harmonic is 660 hertz. 710 lines up 660 hertz. 15 times 111 equals 1665 hertz. The frequency of 3I Atlas being 1665 hertz and 1420 megahertz. The frequency of hydrogen. Christ oil has hydrogen in it. DNA is, where is that? Let's look at the DNA. Here, DNA is hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon. 1563 spells Yahweh. Let's use the time conversion calculator. 1563 converts to 363 in time. Huh, you wouldn't say. Like the Battle of Wounded Knee on 1229 equaling 363 days, and 3 hours and 63 minutes equals 403 in time. Like Christ crucified on 4-3, and 403 can be written as 403 or 43. And yeah, 403 times 3 equals 1209 or 129. The date 1209 or 129 equals 343 days. The speed of sound is 343 meters per second. 17 times 7 times 7 equals 343. See that? So, like I said, these are the building blocks of the matrix. Your 12th Fibonacci is 89, and 89 minutes equaling 129 in time. 88 minutes equals 128 in time, like your 8.8 alpha waves. 88 minutes equaling 128 in time. So, 88 plus 89, where is that? Is it on here? So 88 plus 89 equals 177, just like 59 times 3 equaling 177. There's two ways that you can do this. So 89 plus 88 equals 177, and 128 plus 129 equals 257, when 177 minutes equals 257 in time. Building blocks of the matrix. And 89 is your 12th Fibonacci, and it's corresponding with this story of this inner monologue being crucified, because we're not looking at this as a person, we're looking at this as this liquid crystal consciousness that carries the light within. So, from the crown chakra, or the third eye audio, that's secreting the oil between your two temples, the temple is within. That oil is piezoelectric liquid crystal. It's carrying electrons, it's carrying photons. That oil is the light carrier. So that 99 hertz, that vitamin D sun rays, is being carried by the light, or by that oil, and it's absorbing the light and carrying it to your root chakra to its death, to be buried as a seed and then resurrected as the rise of the photon, the hero's journey, and manifested into energy, emotions, into what matters most to you, and into your own light. But whenever somebody's controlling the language and the alphabet and the original knowledge, that's whenever I got a problem. So, yeah, let's back up into this story, because this was the original
sigil that was channeled, the 181, and the dimensions that were on this were 55 degrees, 47 degrees, and 37 degrees. And this is the advanced version of this Odin's rune sigil representing the letter O and representing the Vesca Pisces, because see the symbol right there, the X and the V in the 181? So not only was this the 1144 Hertz monogram that lined up with the heart chakra, this was also the 181 and Odin's rune all in one on the date 519. And yeah, I haven't been sharing this story. I just finally started organizing and dissecting this one here, but yeah, the shit that this reveals here, the fact that these dimensions, 37 degrees in Freemasonry, your 47 degrees in Freemasonry, and your Odin's rune, this is representing inherit the land. Age of Pisces, this is at the Vatican, and it's also at Washington Monument, meaning inherit the land. That obelisk going through there is representing the phallus, the masculine phallus going into the divine feminine yoni. So there's 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 37 plus 37 equals 74. The U.S. claimed their independence on 7/4, right? 74 minutes equals 114 in time, and 114 minutes equals 154 in time. It's a misprint. So the Jesuits, they're founded in 1540. So again, 74 minutes equals 154 in time. 74 minutes equaling 114 in time, and 114 minutes equals 154 in time. So you're 47 degrees in Freemasonry. 47 plus 47 equals 94. 940 minutes equals 1540 in time. The Jesuits were founded in 1540. Christ was founded in 43, equaling 94 days, when 47 plus 47 equals 94, and that lines up with 67 hertz. And 67 plus 67, that equals 134. 194 minutes equals 134 in time. The first three ships that would arrive in Jamestown, that would set up Jamestown, Virginia, they arrived on 5/13, equaling the 134th day of the year on a leap year. And L, they'd also claim their occupation on 5/14, and that equals the 134th day on a regular year. So two major colonization events, like these major colonization symbols that represent the taking of Earth's resources, because that yoni is representing the divine feminine, and that masculine obelisk going through that is representing the masculine frequency inheriting that land. Odin is the male war god representing the letter O, and that represents a circle, just like the wheel being the mill and Aries being the top of that wheel at the 0 degree mark. And his name is Aries. And his name's literally located in the woman's O-V, Aries. His symbol is the woman's ovaries. And for him to be on the fucking top of the zodiac wheel at the 0 degree mark, the 0 is the circle, the wheel is the circle, and his name being O-V, Aries. His symbol is the ovaries. And for Odin, the male war god, to be claiming the land, inheriting the land, Age of Pisces, yeah, this is all a big raping and taking of the land. Take this apart. V plus X equals 15. Your 15th letter in the alphabet is the letter O, like him representing the O. A plus X, you could do it the other way. A plus X equals 11, when 110 minutes equals 115 time. You get that? So, your 11th Fibonacci, this degree being on there, 55 million indigenous people were genocided from European colonization, and that caused a little ice age, remember? So, you're 47 degrees in Freemasonry. Why is this number so powerful? Why do they use this 47 degrees in Freemasonry? Well, they like to worship the cube. And if you put that square up to that wall, it's 90 degrees square, like your Freemason compass and square. That's why they got the cube fucking everywhere. The Saturn cube. The date 216 lines up with 47 days and 4 hours and 70 minutes. That equals 510 in time. Like the Illuminati founded on 5/1, equaling 121 days. L11 times L11 equals 121. And L mirrored is a 73 when 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. And your 121st harmonic, that equals 1331 hertz. L11 times L11 times L11 equals 1331. Your 47th prime, that equals 211. And 131 minutes equals 211 in time. And 131 converts to 1331. And the date 510, lining up 131 days. This is just the fucking portal. This 47 corresponding with your 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. 190 minutes equals 310 in time. The date, or just 4 hours and 70 minutes equals 510 in time, equaling 310 minutes. These numbers are part of this electromagnetic portal that connect with the Saturn cube, your hexahedron, your Saturn cube cult. That equals 47 days. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Where's that at? Six times 6 times 6 times 6 6 times 6 times 6 equals 2 and 6. The dimensions of this Saturn cube here. They like to worship the cube, and it's corresponding with the number 47. You're 47 degrees in Freemasonry. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. The bicarbonate electrolytes that's secreted here at the sacrum, your kidneys absorb and resecrete bicarbonate, which in turn works with nitric oxide, fueling ATP production involved in oxidative phosphorylation, your inner light. So for bicarbonate to be an ionic compound, your mil ion air running at 2160 degrees, your hexahedron cube, your bicarbonate carbon atom, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. That can be written as 6 to the third power equaling 216. That resembles the date 6-3 equaling 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. The date 630 equaling 181 days, like Romo Slinga's twin brother Remo 181 on 5-9 Lemuria, 44 BC. 590 minutes, that equals 950 in time. The date 44 lines up with 95 days. 44 BC, when 5 hours and 90 minutes, that equals 630 in time. Like the date 630 equaling 181 days. Like 5-9 Lemuria, 181 on 44 BC. And resolution 181, the colonization of that place. So you're 47 degrees in Freemasonry, plus 47 equaling 94. Christ crucified in 4-3 equaling 94 days. And 94 minutes equaling 134 in time. And L claimed their occupation on 5/14, 134th day of the year. It's not a big surprise. And for that to line up with 67 hertz, and 67 plus 67 equals 134, it's not a big surprise because 6 hours and 70 minutes, that equals 710 in time. And Christ was crucified in 4-3, and 430 minutes equals 710 in time. Your oil mirror flipped to 710. You see that? 43 times 3 equals 129. Like resolution 181 established on 11/29, using those same numbers. Like your Bear River Massacre on 129, Patrick Edward Connor massacred the Shoshone tribe. That equals 336 days remain in the year. Like 216 minutes equaling 336 in time. Like the dimensions of the Saturn cube. The date 216 equaling 47 days. You see? Portals. I worship the portal. I'm a portal worshiper. So let's look a little bit deeper into this and just so you're gonna feel like you're in the movie The Matrix. Remember when Neo opens the door and the address of the apartment is 101? 61 minutes equals 101 in time. And we're getting out of that reptilian brain. It's back on the back of your head. That's where they connect that thing in the Matrix. 5-1. That's the May 1st. Masons, Matrix, the Illuminati was founded by your Bavarian Illuminati was founded by your German Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. The Gregorian calendar was created by your German Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius, released in 1582, medieval fucking times. And the Crusades never ended. Your law enforcement officer. Mirror flipped is 037, like your 37 degrees in Freemasonry. And 370 minutes, that equals 610 in time, converting to 1810 in time. Like Romo Slinga's twin brother Remo, 181. So double the frequency, 37 plus 37 equals 74. 174 minutes equals 114 in time, and 114 minutes, that equals 154 in time. The U.S. was founded on 7-4, equaling 185 days, like your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, and your Indian Removal Act of 1830. 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. Christ was crucified on 4-3. And 430 minutes equals 7:10 in time. 71 minutes equals 111 in time. Like 1830 equaling 18.5 hours equaling 1110 minutes. Like the days of the dead on 11/1 equaling 185 days. So from to be crucified on 4-3, 93 days on a regular year, 94 days on a leap year, 940 minutes equals 1540 in time. Judges were founded in 1540. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th harmonic is 1540 hertz, equaling note G, the 7th letter, and 77 plus 77 equals 154. Jesuits founded in 1540. The G in Freemasonry is your 7th letter, and that equals note G, 1540 hertz, your 14th harmonic. So, your Gittin 5-7, the Talmud, it says that Christ boils in shit for eternity. So, when we double the frequency, 57 plus 57, that equals 114. When 114 minutes equals 154 in time. Drop the 0 and put the dots over there. It's a misprint. But yeah, for 114 plus 114 to equal 228, and Christ was crucified on 4-3, equaling 94 days on a leap year. 94 plus 94, that equals 188. When 1 hour and 88 minutes, that equals 228 in time. Like 114 plus 114 equaling 228, and 74 minutes equaling 114, 37 degrees in Freemasonry doubled. And we're getting all this shit. So, let's focus on this, because Abraham Lincoln had his mass record hanging of 38 men, and 3.8 hours equals 228 in time. Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 1226. Same numbers as Kobe Bryant being 86 on 126. Christ was crucified on 4-3. 43 plus 43 equals 86. And at 86, he was 86th. 86 minutes equals 126 in time, and Kobe Bryant was on 86 on 126. So you see what the fuck I'm saying here? So, for 1 hour and 88 minutes to equal 228 in time, and 114 plus 114 equaling 228 time from Gittin 5-7, Christ boils and shit, 57 plus 57 equaling 114. Remember, Christ all mirror flips to 710 on the date 710, or the date 7-1, lines up with 570 hertz. So this corresponds with your Indian removal act of 1830. Remember, 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 110 minutes, like the days of the dead on 11/1, and 71 minutes equaling 111 time. Your Christ all mirror flips to 710, crucified in 4-3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. So, I don't want to lose track here, because the 94th day of the year, 940 minutes equals 1540 in time. Jesuits founded in 1540. 94 plus 94 equals 188. When 1 hour and 88 minutes equals 228 in time. Like Abraham Lincoln's massacre hanging of 38 men, 3.8 hours equals 228 in time. Gittin 5-7, Christ boils and shit, 57 plus 57 equals 114. 114 plus 114 equals 228. Like 1 hour and 88 minutes equaling 228 in time. Crucified in 4-3 equaling 94 days. 94 plus 94 equals 188. So why is this important? Because the Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed and allowed by a Grand Master Mason in 1830 on 5/28, was the 148th day of the year, and 148 minutes equals 228 in time. 74 plus 74 equals 148. So see how all these numbers are corresponding with the crucifixion of the Christ. It's like the pillars of this entire matrix is built on the crucifixion of the Christ, on a mathematical level. So, yeah, check this shit out. So 5.8 hours equals 228 minutes, equaling 348 in time. 558 times 3 equals 174. The date 710 lines up with 580 hertz. Your oil mirror flipped to the 710. The date 710 lines up with 174 days remain. We triple the frequency. 58 times 3 equals 174. And 5.8 hours equaling 228 minutes equaling 348 in time. 174 hertz plus 174 hertz equals 348. So these numbers all corresponding and are basically just married to each other through this hidden frequency time mathematics system. And yeah, this like massive encoding. And you're 47 degrees in Freemasonry. Remember the whole psyop that was on 910 with 47 degrees in Freemasonry hats? 47 plus 47 plus 47. That equals 141. That equals 141. A commemoration to the Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed and allowed by Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson, 5/28. Remember, that's the 148th day of the year. And from that date to the establishment of Resolution 181 on 11/29, endorsed by your 33rd degree Grandmaster Mason President Harry Truman. That equals 1410 months. And your law enforcement officer, Leo, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Leo Miriam Flip is 037. Leo the Lion. The L ion holds the flower of life, and there's 61 circles in that flower of life, and 370 minutes equals 610 in time, equaling 1810 in time. 61 minutes equaling 101, and 101 converts to 141 in time. Like 1410 months. You see that? Building 7 on 9/11, that was 47 stories tall. 47 plus 47, that equals 94. And 94 minutes equals 134 in time. Like L, claiming their occupation on the 134th day of the year. 514. And that the next day after CK was assassinated on 9/10, the next day on 9/11, that was the 134-year anniversary of the colonization associated, created on 9/11 of 1891. That's not a coincidence. Yeah, and the Building 7, that was 47 stories tall, 47 degrees in Freemasonry, and yeah, remember that Building 7, your 42nd prime being 181, 420 minutes equals 7 o'clock in time, 70 minutes equals 11:10 in time, like your twins, 1-1, like those twins, 1-1, 420 the date equaling 110 days, like 1-1. L Miriam flipped is a 7, and L11 equals the L11. The twins. Rituals. Yeah, 9/11 of 1891 plus 110 years. That's the root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. To 9/11 of 2001. Never forget, remember? It was hit by Flight 11. 110 years later, hit by Flight 11. The Twin Towers were 110 floors tall. And the root harmonic of 44 hertz is 110 hertz. And what day was the grand opening of the Twin Towers? On 4/4 of 1973. That was the dedication. You see that? 9/11 minutes equals 3:11 in time. The order of the Jesuits, IX6I, equals 9/11. And 19 declared on 3/11, and 19 hijackers on 9/11. Huh. 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. Connecting to your 47 degrees in Freemasonry. Yeah, 4 hours and 70 minutes equals 510 in time, equaling 310 minutes. 190 minutes equals 310 in time. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. L11 times L11 times L11 equals 1331. The date 5-1 equaling 121 days. This is when the Bavarian Illuminati was founded by your Jesuit Adam Weisenhop. 121 days. L11 times L11 equals 121. That's your 121st harmonic is 1331 hertz. L11 times L11 times L11 equals 1331. This is all about the vow to L. This connects with the Christ oil because oil Miriam flipped to the 710. 710 minutes equaling 11:50 in time. 75 minutes equals 1:50 in time. 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time. 1730 equals 7.5 hours. Portals. Portal mathematics mocking the Christ consciousness crucified on 4/3 equaling 94 days on a leap year. But more importantly, the date 4/4 lines up with 94 days on a regular year, and the 44 hertz on the calendar cipher system here lines up with the hexahedron 2160 degrees. So this is the ground level. And for this ground level to be, it's being like pedestalized. They're pedestalizing the ground level. And let's see here. I gotta tell you guys about that story too. Yeah, pedestalizing the ground level and mocking everything that is sacred and holy. Let's see here. Yeah, to understand Freemasonry mathematics, you gotta see what's being going on mathematically. This 90-degree square, it's a square. It's L. L maybe flip to the 7. And the G, that's your 7th letter. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th harmonic is 1540 hertz. That equals no G, your 7th letter. 77 plus 77 equals 154. Stacking of the matrix for 7th Matic cell division is 128, and the date 57 lines up with 128 days. 57 plus 57 equals 114. 114 minutes equals 154 in time. The judges were founded in 1540. So your 7th Matic cell division being 128. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days, that equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday on a leap year. He's the one that approved the Jesuit order, the colonizers. 101 plus 128 days, that equals 59. The Lemuria, 44 BC. You could say that 181. Remo says his twin brother Remo. 101 plus 59 days equals 301. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 301 days equals the date 1028. And 101 plus 10 months and 28 days, that equals the date 1129. Resolution 181 was established, splitting that one place, creating that one place. So, colonization codes. And yeah, to know that this third letter C and your 11th letter K, like 311, the rune is an L. If you flip that 45 degrees back, it's an L. If you add the E to it, it's EL. And EL mirrored and flipped is a 73. 173 minutes equals 113 in time. And 113 mirrors 311, like 311. The third letter C, 11th letter K, like CK, being taken out that one day on 9-1, on 9-10. The next day being 9-11, when 9-11 minutes equals 311 in time. But yeah, this corresponds to your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311, a victory for Jesuit slaveholders, the Colonization Association by your Bavarian philanthropist Baron Maurice de Hirsch on 9-11. 9-11 minutes equals 311 in time. So the 6 mirroring the 9 at this 90-degree masculine. This is all about the battle of Ray and Set.
The great race set of 2030. The great race set of 2030. You will own nothing and you will be happy.
So 432 hertz, that equals Ray. 440 hertz, that equals La. Note A. Note D. Note A. Right? And Set, that's just the dawn of the dagger of the dawn. When the sun is setting, this dagger, representing the masculine, is decapitating the sun. The circle is being cut in half. And they like that. I like the dagger cutting. I'm going to wear a Dogon hat representing the fish and the cutting of this ray. Because they like to claim all of creation. Because the 6, it mirrors the 9 at the masculine. It's the copycat. And this 90 degrees, that's the 9 that's representing this 9. This 90-degree square, they love this 90-degree square. But it's created by the 9. This 9 creates the 90-degree masculine. It's not the other way around. So they like to think that the Freemason compass draws the circle and claims all of creation. If you draw a circle around this Freemason compass, it's anarchy. If you say the word revolution, it means when the people organize together to take down the ruler. And what's the ruler? It's the square. It's the masculine. Where the 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, equaling L. Add the E to it, it spells the word EL. If you flip it upside down and mirror and flip it, it's the number 73. When 6 hours and 90 minutes, that equals 6:30 in time. L is the 90-degree square. Your 6th solfeggio tone equaling La, equaling note A in 44 hertz. And here's the spell right here. Christ crucified in 4-3 equaling 94 days, 94 minutes equaling 134 in time. Mirror 134, it equals 431. 432 hertz, eat 1, like 181, minus 1. That equals 431. Mirror 134, mirroring 134. And L claiming their occupation on the 134th day of the year. The first 3 ships arriving on 513. Setting up Jamestown, Virginia on 513, equaling the 134th day on a leap year. So those 2 days are both sharing this same number, corresponding with the pirates, the pirates, the Jesuits, and the Crusades. Look at Christopher Columbus's ship. The flag on that ship, it's a Crusades cross. It's a cross. Crusades cross. And the Pizza Pedo Pie human trafficking gang, they've been running shit ever since the unholy Roman Empire took over this motherfucker. United States of the unholy Roman Empire. That's what it's called. All the other labels that they use to get us all fighting each other, are obsolete. So 432 hertz divided by 137.5, the golden angle, the number of broken space-time symmetry, equals 3.14 pi. So when you follow the pi, the date 314 lines up with 73 days, 74 days on a leap year. L mirrored flipped to 73, and the US founded on 7/4, right? Lining up with 47 hertz, 48 hertz on a leap year. 47 plus 47 equals 94. Christ Q's 543 equaling 94 days. So this age of Pisces is literally representing this 432 hertz divine feminine frequency being cut into by this fallen angel and creating the pi. The code for pedos is pizza. And yeah, the daggas is the dagger, the masculine representing this mockery of the divine feminine frequency. 44 hertz, this is the ground level of the sacrum. Below this is the underground, the roots, the soil. Above this is 44 hertz. This is why the Pyramid of Giza, the base of the pyramid, measures 440 cubits. So for the date 44 to line up with 69 hertz on the calendar cipher system, and this is ground level. So where the 6 mirrors the 9 at this 90-degree masculine equaling L. You put the square down on the ground, it's going to be 90-degree square, equaling L. Add the E to it, it spells the word EL. Flip it upside down, it's the number 73, when 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. 73 minutes equaling 113 in time, and 113 mirrors 311 when the date 311 lines up with 44 hertz on this calendar cipher system. See that? So triple the frequency, 44 times 3 equals 132. The date 511 equals 132 days when 511 in time converts to 311 minutes. 4 hours and 71 minutes equals 511 in time, equaling 311 minutes. 4 hours and 47 days and 1 hour equals 1129 hours. This is the next chakra up at 1129, lining up with 528 hertz. Got this thing fucking so mathematically sound where hopefully I can just keep this flow going here. Maybe just bouncing back and forth from the story of channeling Horus. Yeah, so I channeled Horus back on 4/8 and channeled the 181 frequency on 5/19, the 139th day, 12 or 11 days before channeling that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of the veil, living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation. The same day I would channel that Romo slays his twin brother Remo, the fall of the Roman Republic and the rise of the unholy Roman Empire. So, channeled the 181 frequency on 5/19, the 139th day of the year, the ninth harmonic is 99 hertz, 99 minutes equaling 139 time, right? So on 8/8, I would channel that the thought to Jed pillars connecting frequency with time. Create the thoughts to Jed pillars connecting frequency with time. And then on Christmas morning, the power line out front of my house literally blew a hole through a hawk's chest on Christmas morning. I'm sitting on the toilet dropping a deuce, and I think right when the turd was hitting the water, this thing got a hole blown in its chest. It was like early in the morning, and I'm trying to go back to sleep. You know, when you're like shitting with your eyes closed, you're just trying to stay tired. I was just sitting there shitting in peace, trying to go back to sleep with my eyes closed, and I hear this massive sonic boom. Like, it literally felt like it was in the bathroom, the explosion of this guy getting a hole blown through its chest with a bolt of lightning. Plasma. The fourth state of matter is plasma, a liquid, a solid, or an ionized gas. Lightning. Falcon sun god getting a hole blown through his chest on Christmas morning. It's the birthday of Horus. Horus was born on Christmas morning. Christ was resurrected on Christmas morning, right? So, to have this happen on Christmas morning and have my eyes closed, whenever that happened, I saw this massive, giant white flash while my eyes were closed. So if you close your eyes and rub your eyes, you will see interference. You'll see interference patterns. You'll see light entering your eyes without light. You'll see light without light entering your eyes, is what I'm trying to say. So those are called phosophenes. And phosphorus, the word Horus is in phosphorus. So you're seeing light without light entering your eyes. Your eyeballs are flesh crystals. And whenever you squeeze crystal, you get the piezoelectric effect, and it creates a charge. If you rub two crystals together in the dark, you'll see that they light up. So the gematria for Falcon God, 181, Falcon God, 77. So yeah, having this happen on Christmas morning was like the final straw after channeling Horus on 4-8, channeling that we're in the 9th harmonic on 5-9, channeling the 181 on 5-19, the 139th day of the year, and then on 8-8 I've channeled the Thoth, the Jed Pillars, connecting frequency with time, and yeah, we gotta get into this. Connecting frequency with time and the 9 solfeggio tones, and then on Christmas morning having the hawk get its whole chest blown open, and I buried him in my front yard. It was, yeah, between all that and then creating all of this shit is insane. So your 19 circles in the flower of life, how it connects with this electromagnetic force, your 1331, L11 times L11 times L11 equaling 1331, your 121st prime is 1331, L11 times L11 equaling 121. So your 19 circles in the flower of life, 190 weeks equals 1331 days, right? So we have 31 pairs of spinal nerves for a total of 62 nerves. 31 plus 31 equals 62. So you're going to see 62. Summer solstice can also be on 620. And 62 plus 62 equals 124. 124 mirrors 421. Watch this. So there's like an addition happening with this thing. 3 hours and 81 minutes equals 421 in time. 3 hours and 81 minutes equals 421 in time, when 381 minutes equals 621 in time. Your longest day of sunlight, summer solstice, is on 621, and sometimes it can be on 620. The most electromagnetic day of the year. 62 nerves. Look at how our nerves look like lightning. It's where all the electrical signals are being communicated through. See? Let's see. Give me a little break here. Oh, nice. Give me a little breather here to see where we go. So yeah, I left on this mission back on November 4th of 2023. I was evicted on 10/7 from my house that I was renting at, the place where I buried the hawk, and got evicted on 10/7, the date that the genocide began, because of Resolution 181. I channeled that 181 symbol back on 5/19, the 139th day of the year, not knowing what it was. So the day after I got evicted on 10/7, the next day on 10/8, that's whenever I'd find Resolution 181, splitting that one place, creating that one place, and them claiming the occupation on 5/14, the 134th day of the year, Christ was crucified on 4/3, the 94th day of the year, and a leap year when 94 minutes equals 134 in time, corresponding with this whole shit show. 47 degrees in Freemasonry plus 47 equals 94. The 47 days equals the date 216. 216 is the dimensions of the cube, 2160 degrees. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 6 to the third power equals 216. The date 63 equals 154 days. Your judges, valid in 1540. Proofs. 47 plus 47 equals 94. Christ was crucified on 4/3 equaling 94 days. 940 minutes equals 1540 in time. Like the proofs that I've got stacked upon now, it's like I feel like if I was to be playing chess right now, all my pawns are just hitting the end of the chessboard. I'm getting all of my players back, but it took ripping apart my whole entire empire. I literally had to sell my whole sushi catering business that I had for 11 years, where I was balling, and I had a little motorcycle mechanic shop in my garage where I was flipping bikes, and shut all that shit down, sold all my musical equipment. The whole empire that I'd built, literally, it funded this entire mission, and I left on November 4th. By the time I got to February, that's whenever I ran out of all my money, and everything from that point on has just been literally relying on donations, and my phone bill is the only thing that I've been paying. I stopped paying for the Jeep. I was dodging the repo man for over a year, and finally the Jeep got taken whenever I was in Arizona, and guess the name of the towing company that took it? Black Hills Towing Company.
like Black Hills, aka Mount Rushmore, and Abraham Lincoln's face is on that thing. And they broke the treaty and stole the gold, and that's why they took Black Hills and named it Mount Rushmore. And yeah, that was they're pulling up my Jeep on Black Hills Towing on the date 3/19, equaling 2 months and 19 days, like 219. It's number 129. Holy shit! Or the mockery that's been going on behind my back, not knowing any of this shit yet back whenever I was in Arizona. So they gave me my first ticket on 129, the 162-year anniversary of Patrick Edward Connor's Bear River Massacre on 129 of 1863. And that day, 129, that was the date that 67 people perished over runway 33, the Ronald Reagan International Airport, and Christ crucified in 4-3, equaling 67 Hertz, age 33 and 33 AD. The Gematria for Kobe is 67 and 33. From the date that Kobe Bryant was unalived on 126 of 2020 to 129 of 2025, the first day of entering the year of the snake, Mamba snake, the 162-year anniversary of Patrick Edward Connor's Bear River Massacre, that equals 1,830 days. 1830. Like 1830? Like the Indian Removal Act of 1830? Signed into law by Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson on 5/28, the 148th day of the year. 148 minutes equals 2:28 in time. Like them they pulled up my Jeep at 2:28 on 3/19 from Black Hills Towing. I got a picture of that shit. Got it right here. Pulled up at 2:28. 148 minutes equals 2:28 in time. Date 5/28 equaling 148 days. Your Indian Removal Act of 1830 signed into law by Grandmaster Mason on 5/28, 1830. Your 148th day of the year. Your 37 degrees in Freemasonry plus 37 equals 74. And 74 plus 74 equals 148. 74 minutes equals 114 in time. And 114 minutes equals 154 in time. Like the Jesuits founded in 1540. Christ was crucified in 4-3, including 94 days on a leap year and 940 minutes. That equals 1540 in time. Like the Jesuits founded in 1540. So, been being played for a while here, being evicted on 10/7, and the next day my landlord sent a fucking exterminator to exterminate. A ritualistic extermination. And the company was called All Pest Control. ALL, your Freemason compass and square, pest control. I was like, how fucking original. But the next day, I would find resolution 181 on 10/8 of 2023, and that's when I literally was like, what the fuck is going on? I just got evicted on 10/7, and handled the 181 symbol back on 5/19, the 139th day of the year, channeling the light, and now finding out resolution 181 is what caused this genocide to begin. It started on 10/7, but actually began back in the 1800s, and like 1917-ish era. Balfour Declaration 1917, established on 11/2, that promised Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild Palestine. And Balfour Declaration led to the Havar Agreement, that led to Resolution 181, and that led to occupation on 5/14, the 134th day of the year. 94 minutes equals 134 in time. Christ was crucified in 4/3, equaling 94 days. 94 minutes equals 134 in time. So, yeah, to find resolution 181 the day after I got evicted, and then the day that I left on 11/4, November 4th, the day before, that's whenever I found the Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law by Grandmaster Mason on 5/28, and I connected that with resolution 181 because 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 5/28, like the date 5/28, your Indian Removal Act. And whenever I found that out and I left the next day on 11/4, I knew that I was investigating colonization from this point, and my niece sent me a documentation on my ancestor Luisa Vivancos, who was enslaved by the encomienda system in the 1500s, and she was forced to marry a Spanish conquistador fishing captain. So, just been investigating the story, finding out that my father just passed away back in July on the 22nd, and he had his last breath at 4:51. That's what my sister announced, and I know that my sister's involved in this whole Freemasonry shit, and yeah, for him to pass away on 7/22 and his last breath to be at 4:51, mirroring 1:54, the Jesuits founded in 1540. Just like, dude, when I got the news, I was literally driving back home from Placerville. I was parked in front of Hangman's Tree at a stop sign, waiting for the stop sign for people in front of me to go. But being in front of Hangman's Tree and getting the news from someone that's not even in my family, to hear that my father passed away, and I'm just sitting there looking at Hangman's Tree and getting the news of death and all this. I've already been investigating Hangman's Tree, the address being 305, and Abraham Lincoln's gematria for his name, Abraham Lincoln, equals 305. 185 minutes equals 305 in time, like your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, and how that all corresponds. So I already knew that shit, and getting that call, and yeah, it's just been a fucking shit show. So, where was I at? Yeah, being taken to Sutter's Mill, Coloma, whenever I first left on this mission. I just found the Indian Removal Act of 1830. I just found Resolution 181. I left. I packed up all my shit. I sold all of my everything, all my music gear, and just packed everything that would fit in the Jeep along with Scout. And he's been my co-pilot ever since I got Scout whenever he was 5 weeks old. He just turned 9 years old back in November. So, yeah, channeled that 181, found the Resolution 181 the day after I got evicted, and the day before I left I found the Indian Removal Act, connecting the two things and realizing that I was investigating colonization, especially getting the news that my ancestor Luisa Vivancos was enslaved by the encomienda system, and that was created in 1503, like 153, the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces being 153. So the first place that I went was the Four Corners. It's like, I'm just gonna go to the Four Corners and decide where I'm going from there. I got to the Four Corners and decided that I would go to San Diego, and I passed through Sedona, Arizona, and hung out in Sedona, Arizona for a week, and then made my way to San Diego, and I still had no idea what I was doing. I built the Thought the Jet pillars on 8/8/2022, connecting frequency with time in this calendar system, not knowing what the fuck it was, and channeled the 181, not knowing what the fuck it was until I found Resolution 181, and I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm investigating colonization now. So, make it to the Four Corners, pass through Sedona, and I'm basically just feeling everything out and just sightseeing and just taking everything in. I get to San Diego, and Scout gets to see the beach for the first time, and after being there for 3 days, that's whenever I got the hair up my ass to go start investigating Freemason lodges in the area. And whenever I started to do that, that's whenever the ball kind of started to get rolling. And after San Diego, I made my way out to Joshua Tree, and in Joshua Tree, I had some trippy experiences, knowing that the Indian Removal Act of 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1. When I got to the campsite in Joshua Tree, the guy that was running the camp was named Desert Dave, and my birthday was coming up that following weekend, and he had just had his birthday, so he was telling me about the weekend before. He's like, yeah, we just had my birthday party last weekend, and the lady that owns this place, she broke her leg, and she fell down the hill and broke her leg, so she won't be here with us, so I'll be taking care of you this weekend. I'm like, sounds good, man. But I was like, when was your birthday? He was like, November 10th. I was like, November 10th, huh? Like 11-1, 1110. And I was like, that's fucking weird. And then the next day, I'm setting up and going out to the common area to just settle in, and Desert Dave started talking to me, telling me how, he's like, yeah, this place used to be owned by the Morongo tribe. This is the original Morongo tribe's land. They got kicked off the land, and now they're over out in San Jacinto, and they own all the fucking casinos out there. And I'm like, oh, they got kicked off of here from the Indian Removal Act of 1830. They got pushed out west. So like, yeah. It's like, yeah, from that. And I was just like, in my mind, I was hearing the Twilight Zone music. And from this point on, a friend of mine that lives in Garden Valley that I knew from Utah, from Park City, from skiing and snowboarding, a girl that I actually like went on like a couple dates with at one point. Like, we like know each other, and it didn't get that far, if that's what you're thinking. But yeah, there was definitely a connection between this person and I, and she invited me out to come out to Garden Valley, California. It's out past Placerville and Sacramento, and I go to hang out at her place. She's got 20 acres of land out in Garden Valley, and I start telling her my story, and yeah, by the way, she's got 2 kids. She's got a 4-year-old daughter, 5-year-old daughter, and a 7-year-old son. And her son, his leg's been amputated from the knee up, and he wears super extreme advanced prosthetics, and this kid's like an extreme athlete, kind of yeah, he's got more abilities than kids with all of their parts. Yeah, he does everything. But I could do a whole video on this kid. But going back to my friend, I tell her my story of everything that's been going on, and she gets all serious. It's like, I gotta take you somewhere tomorrow. Be ready. And I was like, oh shit, sounds serious. And the next day, she takes me 15 minutes down the road to Sutter's Mill, Coloma. She takes me to Sutter's Mill, Coloma. I'm here at Sutter's Mill, Coloma, 15 minutes down the road from where I'm staying at my friend's house. This is where James Marshall panned the first gold on 7/24 of 1848. And 1848 in time, that converts to 648 in time. 648, that's the dimensions of the dodecahedron DNA. 648, 0 degrees, that's your liquid crystal DNA. That holds perfect time. And Elmir and Flips is a 73. 730 equals 7.5 hours, and 7.5 days equals 648,000 seconds, like the dimension of the dodecahedron DNA. And when light passes through that dodecahedron liquid crystal DNA, it separates into 7 rays when 77 days equals 1848 hours. And the mockery of the gold, the California gold rush, and this Mill ion air story. So to be here on 12/8, the 343rd day of the year, because it was a leap year, the date 12/8, your 7th Matic cell division is 128. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. And I'm here at Sutter's Mill on 12/8 because it's a leap year, 343rd day of the year in 2024. My friend just brought me here because she heard the story of the colonization, right? So here, I read the story of James Marshall penning the first gold and setting off the California gold rush of 1850, and I would see the story of the El Dorado Jail being founded on 2/18, and yeah, founded on 2/18, equaling the 49th day of the year. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. 7 times 7 equals 49, and 49 mirrors 94. Christ was crucified on 4/3, equaling 94 days on a leap year. So shit's gonna get super duper strange, because these guys were
The El Dorado, that means the gold. Fisher King, she riff, she riffs. That's music. Riff is a music term. She, that's the divine feminine. The gold, that's the Christ oil, representing the divine feminine frequency. The ninth harmonic equaling 99 hertz. And for 4-9, the date to line up with 73 hertz. El Mirror flipped to the 73, 74 hertz on a leap year. Founded on 7-4, equaling 99 days. Your Earth's ray sources, the gold. So, founded on 218, that mirrors 812. 218 mirrors 812. El Dorado Jail founded on 218. 69 plus 69 equals 128, when 128 mirrors 28, or 128 minutes equals 218 in time. So, for 128 to mirror, or for 218 to mirror 812, and 812 equals 990 hertz, the gold, the divine feminine frequency, ray equal to 432 hertz, your divine feminine frequency. This is what's being harvested. The currency has always been the gold. So this divine feminine frequency, channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, 99 hertz, 99 minutes equaling 139 time, 139 minutes equaling 219 in time. Day 219 equaling 50 days. Your yoni is your V, equaling 5. 7 weeks and 1 day. Oil, mirror flip this is 710, like 7-1, 7-1, 7 weeks and 1 day equals 4,320,000 seconds. 432 hertz is equal to Ray, your ninth arpeggio tone. The Earth's ray sources, the gold. Your liquid gold is the currency. This is why your Indian Removal Act of 1830 and your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, corresponding with the Days of the Dead, 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. This corresponds with Christ being crucified on 4-3, when 430 minutes equals 710 in time, and 71 minutes equals 111 in time, because oil, mirrored and flipped, is a 710. And 111 minutes, or 111 in time, like 1110 minutes coming from 1830, equaling 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. So to find the Indian Removal Act of 1830 the day before I'd leave, starting my mission, and then to find the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 whenever I'm at Sutter's Mill with my friend that I'm staying on our land that would call me over there to hang out after being at Joshua Tree. For this all to connect mathematically, 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11-1, like 71 minutes equaling 111 time, like oil, mirror, and flip being a 710, and Christ being crucified in 4-3, and 430 minutes equaling 710 a time. And the frequency that releases plasma endorphins within the hypothalamus chamber, between our two temples, remember the temples within? That's 111 hertz. The holy frequency. It's corresponding with the longest day of darkness, 1210, 1221, your winter solstice, equaling 355 days. 355 plus 355 equals 710. 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. 111 plus 110 equals 1221. Right? So your hypogeum, your underground hypogeum temple alta resonates at 111 hertz. Your cairns, burial mounds resonates at 111 hertz. Well documented by Paul Devereaux, an archaeoacoustics professor out of Cambridge University. We're talking about resonance, frequency. Where do we bury the dead? Underground. Burial mounds. It's darkness, like the longest day of darkness, being 1221, corresponding with the oil. And when we go into the inner temple, we're basically going into the darkness. See? So for 7 weeks and 1 day to equal 4,320,000 seconds, equaling 13.70 hertz, like your 33rd prime, being 137, your oil is traveling up your 33 vertebrae. Your 33 vertebrae here at the root chakra. Christ oil travels up your 33 vertebrae. Mathematics, kids, mathematics. So let's look at the building blocks of the matrix here. James Marshall penning that first gold in 1848. 1848 in time converts to 648. 177 days equals 1848 hours. And there's 72 pendulum swings per 60 seconds on a clock. And quartz crystal holds perfect time, just like Christ oil holds perfect time. The date 720 to line up 770 hertz. The date 72 to line up 580 hertz, 590 hertz on the counter cipher system. When 720 minus 72 equals 648. 590 hertz plus 58 hertz equals 648. 77
minutes equals 117 in time, when 58 plus 59 equals 117. Your 7th modic television being 128 and the date 58 equaling 128 days. See that? Time, frequency, mathematics, and the dolls represent the women. And whoever controls the dolls controls the doll heirs. Remember the heirs, people that receive the wealth when people pass. And the dolls represent the woman. And the doll heirs represent the doll hours. Because the dolls, they're hours, they think. But yeah, the dimensions of the dollar, 157 millimeters in height or in width. The width being 157 millimeters, the height being 66.3, mirroring 366. 366 minutes equals 606 in time, like the date 606 equaling 157 days, and 66 lines up with the heart chakra, the currency. 37 degrees in Freemasonry, huh? Remember 370 minutes equaling 610 in time equaling 1810 in time? I'm connecting with all that other shit from before. So for 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 37th prime equals 157, like the width being 157 millimeters. And the date 37 lines up with 66 days, like the date 66 equaling 157 days. And the height being 66.3 millimeters, mirroring 366, when 366 minutes equals 606 in time. Date 606 equals 157 days, like 157 millimeters. So the currency is the heart chakra. Your tree of life, where do they make this from? From trees. And the destruction of 75% of the forest on Earth, and the contamination of all the soil that leads to, and the soil represents the land. And if you guys want to contribute to this cause, that'll keep me going, because I'm just finally getting started to where I can finally start telling the story here, and we haven't even gotten into this thing. Just trying to think which direction I want to go right now. So yeah, the oil is equal to this divine feminine frequency, which is 432 hertz. Channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on 5/9, the same day that I would channel that the fall of the Roman Republic falling and the rise of the Roman Empire. Remo gets slayed, and Re equals the ninth solfeggial tone. Your harmonic is 99 hertz, and 99 minutes equals 139 time. And on the 139th day, on the 139th day of the year, I channeled that 181 symbol, and 139 minutes equals 219 in time. The date 219 equals 7 weeks and 1 day, like your Christ oil, mirror and flipping of 710. This equals 4,320,000 seconds, like the divine feminine frequency. 430 hertz is equal to your ninth solfeggial tone, Re. So Christ crucified in 4:3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. 7 weeks and 1 day is equal to 710, your oil. So for that date 4:3 to line up with 67 hertz in 6 hours and 70 minutes equals 710 in time, corresponding with 4:3 lining up with 94 days. 94 minutes equals 134 in time, when 67 plus 67 equals 134. And 134 mirrors 431. 432 hertz minus 1. You eat 1, like 181, equals 431. So I've got the counter spell now. That's what we need to get into. Okay. I just finally got the message here. So let's see here. So here. Yes, here we go. So, in 1910, Rockefeller and Carnegie, they played roles in the implementation of the Flex Report, which reformed American medical education. The Carnegie Foundation commissioned Abraham Flexner to write the report, which recommended raising standards and closing substandard medical schools. The Rockefeller-funded General Education Board then provided substantial grants to the medical schools that met the new standards, effectively reshaping medical education around a scientific university-based model. The impact: the report led to the closure of roughly half the nation's medical schools. And let's see, however, it also had the unintended consequences. Unintended? Yeah, right. The unintended consequences of limiting opportunities for women and African Americans in medicine. Women were the original caretakers. Women were the original caretakers for giving birth to all the mothers, and men wanted to control this. The cesarean C-section, that's named after Julius Caesar, and Caesar sees her. That's what happens when they seize her. So for the Flexner Report to be in 1910, Rockefeller, who owned Standard Oil, 1910, converts to 710 in time. And drop the 0, 191 minutes equals 311 in time. Like that one thing declared on 311 equaling 44 hertz, 71 days. Like oil, mirrored flipped to the 710. When you drop the 0, Christ crucified 4-3, the next day is 4-4. 430 minutes equals 710 in time. 43 times 3 equals 129. Yeah, John D. Rockefeller leveraged the byproducts of petroleum refining to capitalize on the emerging pharmaceutical industry. You see? So, created Standard Oil in 1870. And 1870 converts to 710 in time. 1870 converts to 710 in time. California Code, you know what that means. So Rockefeller created the Board of Education in 1902. He spent $129 million to indoctrinate our asses. The Glass-Willis proposal in 1912, that would lead to the creation of the Federal Reserve currency. And this was a domino effect of the Jekyll Island meeting in 1910. And Rockefeller and the bankers met secretly to draft the Federal Reserve Act. So this Jekyll Island meeting led to the creation of the Federal Reserve. It led to the Glass-Willis proposal, which led to the creation of the Federal Reserve. The oil mirror flipped to 710, and 710 date lines up with 192 days. Christ crucified in 4-3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. Oil mirror flipped to 710. 43 plus 43 plus 43 equals 129. Like your Bear River Massacre on 129. Like your Battle of Wounded Knee on 1229. Like your Oscar Massacre in 1912. Like your Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921. Like Hitler joining the leader of the Nazi Party in 1921. Like the $38 billion aid package that went to L in 2019. 129. They led that fucking number. So your Glass-Willis proposal in 1912 and your $129 million to create the Board of Education in 1902. Same fucking numbers. See that? Let's see. Yeah, Romo. Slice's twin brother Remo. 181. 59 Lamar. 129th day of the year. I'd say that 1A1, 44 BC. So for this Flexner Report to be in 1910 and Standard Oil founded in 1870, 1870 in time converts to 710. Your Flexner Report in 1910 in time converts to 710. And drop the 0, 191 minutes equaling 311 in time. The date 311 lines up with 71 days. The date that they declared that one thing. And who was part of the Flexner Report? Let's see, Standard Oil created the Flexner Report. Carnegie Foundation commissioned and published the report, which provided a roadmap for a new standard and scientifically based medical education system. Petroleum and pharmaceuticals. At the turn of the 20th century, scientists discovered that petrochemicals, chemicals derived from oil and coal and tar, could be used to create a variety of synthetic compounds, including many pharmaceutical drugs. Rockefeller recognizes immense profit potential in monopolizing medicine, just as he had oil, especially because the synthetic compounds could be patented unlike natural herbal remedies. Natural herbal remedies. You can't patent those. So let's use all the fucking shit and crap that comes off of oil refinery, you know? So vitamin synthesis. While independent biochemists like Casimir Funk, Thaddeus Bernstein, and others were the ones who actually isolated and synthesized the first vitamins, large drug manufacturers such as Roche, Pfizer, and Merck subsequently built large-scale plants for production. Synthetic vitamins today may use various starting materials including coal, tar, or petroleum byproducts in their manufacturing processes. So, in essence, while Rockefeller didn't personally invent the petroleum vitamin, his actions created the market and infrastructure that allowed the synthetic patent-based pharmaceutical industry, including the mass production of synthetic vitamins from various chemical sources, to flourish and dominate modern medicine. So yeah, a nation of workers. Education is dumbing down. 1902, John D. Rockefeller created the Board of Education.
at an ultimate cost of $129 million. $129 million, huh? Christ crucified in 4-3. Triple the frequency because we're triangulating things. 43 times 3 equals 129. And 430 minutes, that equals 710 in time. Like him starting Standard Oil mirrored and flipped to the 710, and he started Standard Oil in 1870, and 1870 in time converts to 710. Would you look at that? And the Flexner Report in 1910 that would use petroleum byproducts to capitalize on Big Pharma. Creating the Flexner Report in 1910, him and Carnegie, in 1910 converts to 710 in time? No fucking way. Christ told me to flip to the 710. He was crucified in 4-3 when 430 minutes equals 710 in time. You sneaky little fucking bastard. So yeah, 191 minutes equaling 311 time, the day 311 equaling 44 hertz on the calendar cipher system. Like Christ crucified in 4-3, the next day being 4-4. And yeah, this shit's just starting. Just wait to what's going to be unlocked here. So, yeah, so the Rockefellers, they started Standard Oil in 1870. 1870 converts to 710 a time. Christ was crucified in 4-3. 430 minutes equals 710 a time. They created the Flexner Report, which reshaped modern medicine and Big Pharma. And 1910 converts to 710 in time. And 191 minutes, that equals 311 in time. Like the day 311, lining up 71 days. And the Devil's Comet, that had a 71-year orbit, and it passed by in 2024, passing by on 4-8 and on 4-21, the 111th day of the year, like the Days of the Dead on 11-1, 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. So anyways, the Devil's Comet passing by in 2024, having a 71-year orbit, 2024 minus 71 years, that equals the year 1953, when Rockefeller would change the frequency from 432 hertz to 44 hertz. Did you look at that? Just like the Rockefellers creating the Flexner Report in 1910, and 1910 converts to 710 in time, like your Christ told me to flip to 710. Crucified in 4-3, 430 minutes equaling 710 in time. Huh. Interesting. Corresponding with the Indian remove up to 1830 and your fugitive say back to 1850, when 1830 military time converts to 18.5 hours equaling 1110 minutes, like 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. Huh. That's very interesting. So yeah, 1953, the date that the Rockefellers that owned Standard Oil, creating Standard Oil in 1870. 1870 converts to 710 in time. And they created the Flexner Report in 1910, and 1910 in time converts to 710 in time. Do the math. Check it yourself. Be my guest. So anyways, 1953 minus your 71-year Devil Comet orbit equals the year 1882. That's the year that Edmund Rothschild would start his settlements in Ottoman Palestine, and he would later take over the Jewish Colonization Association, created on 9/11. And the date 9/11, the date 9/11, that's the date of the Colonization Association that was created in 1891, that was later taken over by Edmund Rothschild, who started his settlements in 1882. So, like 182, those same numbers, 182, 182. And yeah, 311 minutes equals 9/11 in time. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11 was a victory for Jesuit slaveholders. That equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820. The same numbers as the 7th Mitre subdivision being 128. So 1882 minus your 71-year Devil's Comet orbit equals the year 1811. Gotta spit that out. So 1811, that was the year that the Mississippi flowed in reverse. You could say the Nile flowed in reverse. But the riverbanks were collapsing. The riverbanks were collapsing. And also the banks were actually collapsing as well. From all the currency changing, and the riverbanks were collapsing because of all the flooding, from all the rain, and yeah, just like all the flooding what's been going on from 2024 to 2025, and all the banks collapsing, and the change of currency with the digital currency that's trying to be implemented, and the death of the dollar. So 1811 minus your 71-year orbit equals the year 1740, like 174 hertz, the holy frequency. The date 710 equals 174 days remain. Christ will me to flip to the 710, like your 71-year Devil's Comet orbit, right? So, so 174, the year 1740,
174 mirrors 471. 4 hours and 71 minutes equals 511 in time, equaling 311 minutes, like the Lemuria on 511, 44 BC, 181. And your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311. 911 minutes equals 311 in time. So, the date 9/11 is on here. The date 9/11 equals 254 days. 111 days remain when 174 minutes equals 254 in time and 71 minutes equals 111 in time. The date 7/1 equals 170. The date 7/10 equals 174 days remain. Remember, 71 minutes equals 111 in time. So the date 9/11 minutes equaling 311 in time. The date 311 equaling 71 days. Where's that? Day 311, I think it was 71 days. Well, Maiden flipped is a 710. So I'm starting to see how this mathematics is working. Whenever I was in Utah investigating the Madeleine, the bell rang every day there at 11:29. Resolution 181 on 11:29. It rang every day there at 12:29 here. Battle of Wounded Knee on 12/29, equaling 363 days, 3 hours and 63 minutes equals 403 in time. Christ was crucified on 403, equaling 94 days on the leap year. 12/29, 12 months and 29 days equals the date 1/29 year. Bear River Massacre, and every day the bell rings every day 1/29, 11/29, 12/29, 1/29. Your Bear River Massacre on 1/29. Remember, Christ was crucified on 403. 43 times 3 equals 1/29. And the bell rings the loudest every day at the La Madeleine at 5:11, when 4 hours and 71 minutes equals 5:11 in time, equaling 311 minutes, and 47 days and 1 hour equals 11:29 hours. The bell ringing every day at 11:29, like Resolution 181 established on 11:29. You see that? One big giant mockery. Salt Lake City is also known as Freemasonville, the Freemason capital of the U.S. Let's see here. Where am I at? So yeah, speaking of all these Masons and this number 182 and your seventh matic cell division being 128, and the code 101 plus 120, 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday. That's the guy that approved the Jesuit order, the Roman Catholic military order, colonizers. 101 plus 128 days, that equals 59. The Lemuria. 181, 44 BC, the fall of the Roman Republic, the rise of the unholy Roman Empire. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days, that equals the date 1129. Resolution 181 was established, like Ramos Legis twin brother Remo, 181. So for the date 1028 to line up with 301 days, 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. The date, that's Bill Gates' birthday, and he's related to the Rockefellers. And yeah, we're going to get into event 201. Let's get into event 201 after this. So, the first one of those, that thing was created and developed by Jenner, Edward Jenner, brother Edward Jenner, worshipful master Edward Jenner. Worshipful master Edward Jenner, he would create the first one of those things. I don't want to say it because we're not allowed to say certain words, you know, because certain people bought certain apps. So Jenner was raised as a master mason in 1802. Same numbers: 182, 1812, 1821, 1802. So this converts to 602. 1802 in time converts to 602 in time. And the date 602, that lines up with 153 days, the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces being 153. Just a little side note. I'm just thinking out loud. So he served as a master mason in his lodge in 1812, and he became the physician of the king in 1821. But see how they use those same numbers, 182, 1812, 1821, the same numbers that you get these colonization codes. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days, you get 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday, that's the guy that approved the Jesuit order. They're all Freemasons, and they create vaccines and shit, and schmaxines, and that was declared on 3/11, equaling 71 days, equaling 44 hertz, equaling 182 days. After 9/11, when the date 7/1 equals 182 days. Lining up with 570 hertz, and the date 5/7 equals 128 days on leap year. 1280 days equals 182 weeks. So these numbers just basically recycle themselves. And yeah, they're all part of the same little club, you could say. So let me find this event 201 now that you guys have seen the Flexner. So you guys can look at Scout. Oh, there it is right there. Nice. Scored. Yeah, sometimes you don't know. I don't know if it's going to take me forever to find some of these things. Alright, bitch. Oh, there it is. There she is. Alright. So, event 201, August 21st of 2019, 2019, Revelation 12:9, the Lemuria 509 equals 129 days. On August 21st of 2019, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, will host a global pandemic exercise called Event 201 on Friday, October 18th of 2019. 2019. October 18th, huh? That's really convenient because 509 plus 509 equals 1018, like the date 1018. In 2019, those same numbers, 2019, like 509 Lemuria equaling 129 days in your Revelation 12.9, and 509 plus 509 equals 1018, like the date 1018. See that? It's not rocket science, people, it's extermination. So Rockefeller, he created the Board of Education in 1902, indoctrinating all of our dumbasses, spending $129 million. And Christ was crucified in 43, and 43 times 3 equals 129, right? So Gates, he was born on 10/20 and related to the Rockefellers. And 101 plus 1 month and 28 days, that equals 229. Alessandro Farnese's birthday, who created the Jesuit order. 101 plus 128 days, that equals 5/9 Lemuria. 181, the fall of the Roman Republic. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days, that equals 1129. The splitting of that one place, creating that one place. And he was born on 10/28, that equals 301 days. Like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. And the seventh Maddox television being 128. And see, the Rotary Club, thanks to the fraternal principles espoused by Freemasonry, other organizations founded their birth, like the Lions Club, like Leo Meard and Flip being an 037. And Leo Meard and Flip is 037, and there's 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and Leo, the lion, holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in that flower of life, when 370 minutes equals 610 in time, equaling 1810 in time. So yeah, you guys are about to see some shit here. So yeah, why would he call this event 201? Well, the 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90 degree masculine, equaling L, and L mirror and flip is a 73. 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time, and L Evan times L Evan equals 121. And 730 minutes equals 12:10 in time. L mirror and flip is a 73. And 121 minutes, that equals 201. Like event 201 on 821. Mirroring 128, your 7th Maddox cell division is 128. 128 mirrors 821, like your event 201 on 821. When light passes through O's iris, it separates into 7 rays. And your 7th Maddox cell division is 128, mirroring 821. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci is 233, when 821 equals 233 days. And your Vesica Pisces 153 minutes equals 233 in time. I'll show you guys the chart. I'll show you the chart here. So yeah, for event 201 to be on 821, equaling 233 days, 990 hertz, like the divine feminine frequency. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays in your 7th Maddox cell division. That's 128, and 128 mirrors 821. You see? 821 was the event 201. And yeah, for light to pass through O's iris, the SI mirrors the IS, and the O is the O in the iris, and the R represents the reflection. 15 times 15 equals 765, when 765 divided by your yoni, your V, equals 153, the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces. Christ was crucified on 4-3, age 33 and 33 AD, age 33 and 33 AD, when 930 minutes equals 1530 in time, converting to 330 in time. Drop the dots because that means 930 minutes equaling 1530 in time, equaling 330 in time. Dimensions of the Vesica Pisces, 153. The symbol of the Christ represented by the Vesica Pisces. So for him to be crucified on 4-3, equaling 93 days, at age 33 and 33 AD, when 930 minutes equals 1530 in time, equaling 330 in time. The dimensions of the Vesica Pisces. So 812, that equals 233 days, when 153 minutes equals 233 in time. When light passes through a crystal, or your O's iris, it separates into 7 rays. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci equals 233, right? So for event 821 to be on this date, there's still more coding behind this. Where did I put that? Give me 1 second, kids. There we go. Yeah, so this is all about the hacking into the DNA, this fermic vacuum of the heart chakra, and the 69 lines up at the heart with 639 hertz and 66 and 1210, and we're just talking about this event 201 lining up at the date 8/21, mirroring 128. So back this thing up. So there's 61 circles in the flower of life. The date 6/1 lines up with 153 days. We're using the 61 circles of the flower of life to create, we're intersecting 2 circles, creating the width of the Vesica Pisces being 153. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci being 233, when your 7th Matic cell division is 128. When light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. So 128 mirroring 821, the date 821 lining up with 233 days, when 153 minutes equals 233 in time, the dimensions of the Vesica Pisces. Okay, seeing that? The frequency of the flower of life is 128 hertz. When light passes through O's iris, it refracts into 7 rays. This symbol of the flower of life is literally on the wall of the Osirian temple. So when light passes through O's iris, it separates into 7 rays. Set cut up Osiris into 14 pieces. Isis put him back together. Where is it? Isis put him back together, and Horus was birthed. Isis and Osiris gave birth to Horus, the hours. So when we start to look at this in code, O's iris, that's a 5-1, that's a 1-5. The R is representing the mirror, the O is representing the iris. So 51 plus 15 equals 66. All right? And the square root of 66 is 812. Like your freaking hellacial rising of Sirius on 812 and event 201. Excuse me, I got these mixed up. Your hellacial rising of Sirius is on 812. The square root of 66 is 812. I'm getting these mixed up. I need to slap myself in the face real quick here. So Osiris and Isis gave birth to Horus, right? 51 plus 15 equals 66. 51 mirrors the 15, that's Osiris. So 51 times 15 equals 765. 765 divided by your yoni, your divine feminine, your V, equaling 5, equals 153, dimensions of the Vesica Pisces. So 1515 equals Isis. O is the 15th letter representing the divine feminine. 15 days equals 360 hours. 360 degrees equals a circle. 15 times 15 equals 225 days. So the date 812 lining up with 225 days. This 812 is mirroring 218. This is the date that the El Dorado jail was founded on, 218 equaling 49 days. 7 times 7 equals 49. So we're basically just going to follow this code and see if I can spit this thing out right. I definitely mixed some things up. I don't know what I did with some of my fucking slides. Yeah, give me a second here. I need to find some slides. Things back. Today's a new moon, and 3i Alice is making its closest pass by the sun, or by Earth today. Hold on, I'm fucking mildly retarded right now. I need to hit my fucking pipe and just take a fucking breather. Literally at the point where I'm seeing Bill Gates' face just makes me want to like fucking punch myself in the face. Just because I have nobody else to punch. So I'll just punch myself. Seeing that fucking face. Alright. Hi. Yeah, I'm stressing the fuck out over here. Before I left on this journey, I had no idea what I was even healing from. And now that I've got all this shit in order, I know what I need to start healing from. And it's a lot. So one of the main reasons why I took this mission upon myself is my mother was raped by her father when she was a kid, and I'm pretty positive he was part of that Roman Catholic military order and the Jesuits and the whole Freemasonry shit, and I'm sure that she wasn't his only victim. So all these children that are being trafficked, that are the dolls, the doll heirs, the original currency. And human trafficking began through colonization. People coming in, like, oh, this land looks like it's got a lot of gold, and these women look beautiful. Gather up all the women and children, kill all the men, and bring me all the fucking gold. And that's the whole
Holy Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. They've been gathering gold from all the indigenous people's land, and Vatican City, it's literally made from all the genocided indigenous people all around the world. And whether this is a simulation or this place is real, the colonization is also happening within on a frequency level. So connecting this calendar system with frequency and time and the solfeggio tones of the chakras, we're reading this thing and investigating the colonization that's going on within, as well as the colonization that's going on the outside, allowing us to do some alchemy and counterbalancing what's going on. The demonization of the divine feminine. If you say amen, the word A, that's the Freemason compass. Amen. Sounds so good. If you say omen, it's an omen. If you say the word revolution, that means when the people are going to organize together to take down the ruler, or it just means a circle. The ruler is the Freemason square that draws the masculine. And anarchy, it's when you draw the circle around the Freemason compass. So this massive, massive shunning of the circle. If you draw a circle and write the letters W and E, it spells the word O. You're still saying the word O, but you just added the W-E to it, and now you've added debt to that circle. And that's how the creators of his story have always seen the circle as currency, as debt. The vowel to L system, the A-E-I-O-U. All right, here. Time is it? Check my battery life. 27%. Oh shit. 15. About 30 minutes left of light. God, dude. Fuck this day. Alright, holy shit. Fucking work. Getting worked. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Hold on a second here. So yeah, we're talking about event 201 being on 8/21, the 7th Matic Solar Vision being 128 meters, 8/21 lining up with 233 days on a leap year. No,
121 lining up 133 days when your 14th Fibonacci is 233. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci is 233. 153 minutes equals 233 in time. And when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. Your 7th magnetic division is 128, mirroring 821. Day equaling 233 days. Your 14th Fibonacci is 233. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci is 233 when 153 minutes equals 233 in time. The dimensions of the Vesica Pisces 153. The frequency of the flower of life is 128 hertz. We're using the circles of the flower of life to create the Vesica Pisces with intersecting 2 circles. The date 6/1 equals 153 days on leap year when there's 61 circles in the flower of life. So that's knowing that Isis, she's the one that repairs Osiris, puts him back together. He was cut up into 14 pieces. 7 plus 7 equals 14. Your 14th Fibonacci equaling 233. Isis equals 1515. 15 times 15 equals 225 when the date 8/12 equals 225 days. The 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, lined up with 66. The square root of 66 equals 8/12. The date 8/12 lines up with 225 days. Isis, 15 times 15 equals 212. Or, yeah, 225. 15 times 15 equals 225. The date 8/12 lines up with 225 days. So, check this shit out. 12:10, the day equaling 345 days. 225 minutes equals 345 in time. This is where the 6 is mirroring the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, equaling L. 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. L Evan times L Evan. What the fuck is this thing? There we go. L Evan times L Evan equals 121 when L mirroring is 73. 730 minutes equals 12:10 in time. The date 12:10 lining up 345 days. 345 plus 345 equals 690. So ISIS equaling 1515. 15 times 15 equals 225. Your 15th harmonic equals 660 hertz. All mirroring the 710 lining up with 660 hertz. The date. So 660 hertz is lining up at the heart chakra with 69 and 639 hertz. 710 minus 71 equals 639 hertz, lined up with 660 hertz at the heart. So for the heart to line up with 69, this electromagnetic force, where the 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, and 1210 lines up here. 345 days, 345 plus 345 equals 690. Let's see if I can say this all in perfect order. So for the halatial rising of Sirius to be on 8/12, the longest Isis is associated with the star Sirius, and your halatial rising of Sirius is on 8/12, equaling 225 days. Isis is 1515. 15 times 15 equals 225. The date 8/12 equals 225 days. And 15th harmonic is 660 hertz. 66 lines up with 69 here at the heart, right? 69 plus 69 equals 138. When 138 minutes equals 218 in time. 218 mirrors 8/12. The date 8/12 lining up 225 days. 225 minutes equals 345 in time. And L Evan times L Evan equals 121 when L mirror is 73 and 730 minutes equals 12:10 in time. The date 12:10 lines up with 345 days. 225 minutes equals 345 in time. 345 plus 345 equals 690. Round and round we go. Number 69 plus 69 equals 138. And 138 minutes equals 218 in time. The El Dorado jail was founded on 218 of 1850. El Mirror was 73. The date 73 equals 185 days. A fugitive slave act to 1850. But yeah, the 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, equaling L. Add the E to it, it's EL. L mirror is 73 when 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. 7:30 equals 7.5 hours equaling, and 7.5 days equals 648,000 seconds. Our DNA is liquid crystal and it holds perfect time. It's dodecahedron shape. The dimensions of the dodecahedron being 6480 degrees, or 75% water. And our DNA is liquid crystal and holds perfect time. It's electromagnetic, like Elmire and flipped, being a 73. See that? And it spirals. Our DNA spirals, and see that? That's a spiral. Two photons entangle photo. You get a yin-yang. Remember the two of disk at the beginning of this video? Two photons entangling is the groundbreaking 2019 image from the University of Glasgow that visually demonstrates quantum entanglement, a phenomenon where two particles remain linked regardless of distance. 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine. In the ether, the 6th solfeggial tone is La, equaling note A in 440 Hertz, your masculine frequency. Your 9th solfeggial tone equaling Re, equaling note D in 432 Hertz, your divine feminine frequency. Ultrasonic divine feminine frequency, light. Masculine frequency, light. Colliding at this 90-degree masculine. 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, equaling L. Add the E to it, it's an EL. L mirror and flip is a 73 because we're mirroring and flipping shit. When 6 hours 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. It's electromagnetic force. Two frequencies colliding. See that? So it's literally where our DNA connects. So yeah, for 69 plus 69 equals 138, and 138 minutes equals 218 in time, and 218 mirrors 812. Square root of 66 equals 812, and 69 lines up here with 66. So it's nuts, because yeah, the whole 6 mirroring the 9 at the 90-degree masculine equaling L, Albert 73, 6 hours 9 minutes equals 7:30 in time, equaling 7.5 hours. And yeah, 7.5 days equals 648,000 seconds. And the dodecahedron lines up here at the heart. L11 times L11 equaling 121. L mirror flips to 7. L mirror flipped to 73 when 730 minutes equals 12:10 in time. And 12:10, the date lines up with 345 days. 345 plus 345 equals 690. Round and round we go in so many different directions where it just keeps on keeping on. So what's crazy is that when light passes through a medium like water, absorbing the light, the speed of water goes from 186,000 meters per second to 225,000 kilometers per second. So whenever light is passing through this heart chakra, 12:10 lining up at 345 days, 225 minutes equals 345 in time. 225 minutes equals 345 in time. So when light is passing through this heart chakra going up at the 12:10, it's going 225 minutes or 225,000 kilometers per second. That is equal. And we're seeing that in the heart chakra. This is represented by the ether. The dodecahedron, 6480 degrees, represents the ether, the liquid crystal DNA. And when light is passing through ether, it's slowing down. Let me show you. Actually, I think it's in my other book. I think it's in here. Yes. So Walter Russell's equations and his theories, believing that light was consciousness and this ether is consciousness. Whenever the serpent is traveling through the water, it's creating that same mathematical pattern of the O equaling 15. 15 fits perfectly in the circles within the circles that represent musical ratios, and the angle needed to the frequency, the 15th vibration, table of vibration, the 15th being 32,768 beats per second. That's when sound ends in the human ear and electrical ultrasonic acoustic waves begin connecting to the DNA. Our liquid crystal proteins, our liquid crystal DNA, it's absorbing the light like our Christ oil is absorbing the light. So let me show you guys. There we go. About the Jed pillar. Crown chakra, 963 hertz minus 111 hertz equals 852 hertz. 852 hertz, your third eye audio, minus 111 hertz, your holy frequency, equals 741 hertz. The solfeggial tone is digesting that holy frequency. 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. Your oil mirror and flip to the 710. Christ screw 743. 430 minutes equaling 710 in time. Ah, fucking. I need more arms. I need to be an octopus. So yeah, crucified 4-3, 430 minutes equaling 710 in time, 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. That's your holy frequency that's digesting through solfeggial tones. 963 hertz minus 111 equals 852. 852 minus 111 equals 741. So remember how 7 weeks and 1 day. 7 weeks and 1 day is equal to 4,320,000 seconds. Your ninth harmonic being 99 hertz, 99 minutes equaling 139 in time, and 139 minutes equaling 219 in time, 219, the day equaling 7 weeks and 1 day equaling 4,320,000 seconds. Oil mirror flip to the 710, 432 is equal to Ray equaling to the ninth harmonic, 99 hertz. So we're digesting this 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. 71 minutes equaling 111 time, 111 hertz, the frequency that releases the plasma endorphins within the hypothalamus chamber in between the two temples, right? So, I'm not just out on a limb here. 963 hertz minus your plasma endorphins, your holy frequency, 111 hertz equals 852 hertz, your Christ oil. 852 hertz minus 111 hertz, your Christ oil equals 741 hertz. So, this is your third eye audio, where your two temples are. So for 1111, your crown divided by 99 hertz, which is equal to the holy frequency in your Christ oil, right? 1111 minus 99, that equals 1122 hertz. Line up with third eye audio. 1122 hertz minus 99 equal to your Christ oil equals 1133 hertz. And this keeps happening all the way down. 1133 hertz divided by 99 equals 1144. 1144 divided by 99 equals 1155. 1166 divided by 99 equals 1177. 1188 divided by 99 equals 12. Like our 12 cranial nerves connecting to the 4 holes on each side of our sacrum. 44 times 12 equals 528 hertz. Your solar plexus is now charged. So yeah. Off, taken apart, you get 5 sets of 11s. Your electromagnetic force, your 11th Fibonacci is 55. Your plasma is the 4th state of matter. It's a liquid, a solid, an ionized gas. Electrolytes like polyatomic ionic compounds, bicarbonate electrolytes secreted within the sacrum and solar plexus. Your pancreas secretes it. Your kidneys reabsorb it and resecrete it. Plasma. It's the liquid portion of our blood. It's about 55% of the blood is plasma. Like 55 days, 550 days equaling 18 months and 1 day, like your 181 electromagnetic force symbol that connects to your electric field, that connects to the electromagnetic force that we create the Jed pillars with. Plasma. Plasma gods. And the communication that has been happening. Beings channeling the ninth harmonic on 5 and 129th day of the year. That we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, hosting 440 hertz, 432 hertz. The twins, Romo slays Remo. Ray equals 9 hertz, Romo equals 440 hertz. The 6 mirrors the 9 at this 90 degree masculine equaling L. 6 solfeggial tone equals La equaling note A equaling 440 hertz. Your 9th solfeggial tone equals Ray equaling note D equaling 432 hertz. Romo slays Remo. They build the republic, or they build the empire, the unholy Roman Empire, with 440 hertz. And the truth is right in front of our faces. Rayma, flip that crown forward. It's a circle, representing the circle. The drum is a circle. This thing beats just like your heart. Your heart is the divine feminine fermionic vacuum. Isis, 15 times 15 equals 225. 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. That's the divine feminine frequency. Pluto returns in Aquarius. Yeah, that's what we'll get to. Pluto returns in Aquarius. After 225 years. Pluto, representing the divine feminine, returned in Aquarius after 225 years. And Isis, 15 times 15 equals 225. Takes the planet Venus 225 days to travel annually around the sun. And Venus, representing the divine feminine. Takes the Venus 8 years to travel 13 times to create the 5-star mandala. And creating a star out of circles, taking 8 years, traveling 13 times around the sun to create. And that's what the divine feminine does. It doesn't just jizz and, okay, I created something, see you later, now you owe me a baby, I'll be back for my son to be king, to take over all these lands. But yeah, the geometry of a photon, 528. Your electric charge equation, phi times 10 to the negative 19 power. 10 to the negative 19 power, that just equals negative ground. And you gotta have your electric charge, phi, connected to your negative ground to create a charge. So 1.6 phi times 10 to the negative 19 power, that equals 288 hertz. That equals note D, that equals Ray, your ninth solfeggio tone. When you multiply that by 15, equaling O, your photon absorption, 15 days equals 360 hours. 288 hertz times 15 equals 432 hertz, your divine feminine frequency. 432 hertz times 15 equals 6480 degrees. So basically O times O equals O, because this is each of these numbers is representing the divine feminine fermionic vacuum, just like the 15, Isis, and yeah. Whenever light is passing through water, when the speed of light's constant in a vacuum, like the vacuum of space, light can slow down significantly when it passes through an absorbing medium like water, slowing down to 225 to 100,000 kilometers per second, just like 225, Isis, 15 times 15 equals 225. Water absorbing light, and it's slowing down. Absorption, just like Christ oil absorbing light, that's representing the divine feminine. When something is being absorbed or observed, that's representing the divine feminine. Aquarius, that represents the water. Pluto returns in Aquarius after 225 years. 15 times 15 equals 225. Planet Venus has an annular orbit around the sun of 225 days. Venus and Pluto both represent the divine feminine. So the repeating 60-digit Fibonacci pattern that recycles itself infinitely at the 101, or the 1011, you could say. So there's 61 circles in the flower of life, and Leo the line mirrored flipped is 037. Leo holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in that flower of life when 370 minutes equals 69 in time. 61 minutes equals 101 in time, like the 60-digit repeating Fibonacci pattern recycling itself at the 1011. So the 0 would be representing the 60 units. So the 1 would be right at the 61. So 61 minutes equaling 101 in time. And 611 minutes equals 1011 in time. Yeah. So 611 of 2023, Pluto went direct or backspin into Capricorn, and on 1011 of 2023, it went direct into Capricorn. So from 611 to 1011, that equals 17 weeks and 4 days, like that number 174 hertz, the holy frequency that connects with the Christ oil. Oil married to the 710, 710 equals 174 days remain. And how this corresponds with your winter solstice 1221 equaling 355 days. 355 plus 355 equals 710. and 71 minutes equaling 111 in time, and 111 plus 110 equals 1221, your winter solstice. 1221 days equals 174 weeks. Fractals of spacetime. So for this to connect with the repeating 60-digit Fibonacci pattern, recycling itself with the 101 or the 1011, the date 1011, like 1011, lines up with 1150 hertz. When 710 minutes equals 1150 in time, your oil mirrored and flipped is a 710. 7.5 hours, that's a misprint, equals 730 in time. L mirrored and flipped is a 7.3. And 75 minutes, that equals 1:15 in time. Like 7:10 minutes equaling 11:50 in time. 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time. So these numbers all correspond, and this corresponds with the 47 degrees in Freemasonry, because 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time. Remember that? So for the date 1011 to equal 285 days, and that's a solfeggio tone, 285 hertz. And we're following the Christ oil mirrored flip being a 710. So Christ crucified in 4:3, 430 minutes equaling 710 in time. Oil mirror and flip is a 710, right? So the date 7:1 lining up with 570 hertz. 285 hertz plus 285 hertz equals 570, the frequency. And the date 1011 lining up with 285 days. 285 plus 285 hertz equals 570. So yeah, the date 1011 lining up with 1150 hertz. 710 minutes equals 1150 in time. Christ oil mirror flip is a 710. Crucified in 4:3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. So the date 7:1, like oil, drop the 0. The date 7:1 equaling 183 days on a leap year. L mirror flip is a 73. The date 7:3 equaling 185 days on a leap year. When 1830 equals 18.5 hours equaling 1110 minutes. It's like 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. Your Indian move back to 1830, your fugitive slave back to 1850, and your Days of the Dead on 11/1, corresponding with this whole entire shit show. So for 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 3 to equal 111, your 61 circles in the Flower of Life times 3 equals 183 when 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes, proving this little equation here. And connecting it with the repeating 60-digit Fibonacci pattern that recycles itself infinitely at the 101 or the 1011. And see how 9 months and 11 days equals the date 1011? And this 174 hertz number popping up from 611 to 1011 equals 17 weeks and 4 days, like 174 hertz. And 710 oil mirror and flip being 710 equaling 174 days remain. 710 minutes equaling 11:15 time. 1011 lines up with 1150 hertz in the counter cipher system. So for 9 months and 11 days to equal 1011. The date 911 equals 254 days when 174 minutes equaling 254 in time. 71 minutes equaling 111 in time. The date 911 equals 111 days remain. The date 3 equals 71 days. Remember 911 minutes equaling 311 in time. Your order of the Jesuits IXXI equals 911. So yeah. The stacking of this code, it's just an allegory and it's code. Crucified in 4:3 equaling 94 days, right? Your 47 degrees in Freemasonry plus 47 equals 94. 94 minutes equals 134 in time. 4:3 lined up with 67 hertz. 167 plus 67 equals 134, right? So for the date 4:3, when we stack the frequency, 43 plus 43 equals 86. He was 86. 86 minutes equals 126 in time, like Kobe Bryant being on 86 on the date 126. The frequency sound of the sun is 126 hertz. 1 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9. This is connected to the divine feminine frequency. When we double the frequency, 43 times 3, or 43 plus 3 equals, holy shit, hold on. When we double the frequency, 43 plus 43 equals 86, right? And when we double the frequency, 86 plus 86 equals 172. 1621 equals 172 days. See, 86 plus 86 equals 172. The date 621, summer solstice, mirroring 126, equals 172 days, lining up with 470 hertz. And remember, 47 plus 47 equals 94. The date 4:3 equals 94 days. On leap year, round and round we go. So one big giant mockery. This connects with the summer solstice and the winter solstice to a mathematical T. 8 hours and 60 minutes equals 9 o'clock, like your ninth harmonic. The date 5:5 equaling 126 days, lining up to 99 hertz. Remember, 86 minutes equals 126 in time. 43 plus 43 equals 86. So, yeah. See, the Last Supper is on 4-2. Abraham Lincoln's Massacre of 38 men, 3 hours and 80 minutes equals 4:20 in time, corresponding with this mockery. So the three windows back there are representing the holy frequency 111, just like these three doors and these temples all around the world. So 71 minutes equals 111 in time, and that's the holy frequency that releases the plasma endorphins within the hypothalamus chamber. The date 420 is crucified on 4, or the Last Supper is on 4-2. Your 42nd prime is 181. And the date 420 equals 111 days on leap year. So if you flip the 8 sideways, it looks like the 1. So my phone's about to run out of batteries. I used the whole entire section, but yeah. Let's see here. You guys want to help a brother out? My phone's going to get shut off here on winter solstice, and I used the last of my money to print up all these prints and tell this story finally, but it took me 3 years to finally get here, and I couldn't have done it without everybody here. Actually, I don't receive any donations from YouTube, so I'm doing this video out of the kindness of my heart. I don't expect anything from you guys, and I just wanted to tell the story and spread it just in case my phone gets shut off here on winter solstice and I'm not allowed to keep sharing the story. I'm just hoping that I can keep all my prints, the thousands of dollars that I've put in all these prints, to where I can actually finally tell the story, because trying to keep all this shit in my head and just telling you guys the story without showing you the charts and stuff and relying on our imagination, it's not going to work, because I'm basically teaching myself. The more that I tell the story and watch these videos, I'm integrating this knowledge that's being passed down by the ancient star mathematicians, and yeah, their knowledge has been completely hacked into, and it's been twisted into this stupid narrative that we're living in this reality where this beautiful mathematic system has been used for colonization, period, for human trafficking, pedophilia, and women being the currency, and them starting real young. Yeah, the dolls are the currency, and the heirs are people that receive the wealth, the doll heirs, and the male ion heirs. Gathering up all of Earth's ray sources, ray being the ninth sulfurgyl tone, and that's equal to your oil. And who are they going to war with? Venus, representing the divine feminine. Ula, Venezuela. I just see Venus and all the oil that's there. Venus represents the feminine. Oil represents the feminine. It's at 9 hertz, 432 hertz. Yeah, constant taking, ethnically cleansing, not giving back to the land or the people, and yeah, just the mocking of the divine feminine frequency. It's a frequency. It has nothing to do with sexual preference or genitals. It's all about energy and vibration and magnetism, projection, and the marriage thereof. It's it. Drop all the fucking labels, drop all the extravagant, indoctrinated words from the Rockefellers creating the Board of Education in 1902. 1902 in time, that converts to 702 in time, and the date 702 can be written as 72 or 702. And the building blocks of the matrix are 72 pendulum swings per 60 seconds. The clock on the date 72 or 702 lines up with 183 days, like your Indian removal act of 1830, lines up with 58 hertz, 59 hertz, and those are the building blocks of the matrix. 58 plus 59 equals 117, when 77 minutes equals 117 in time. The date 720 lines up with 770 hertz, lining up with 201 days, like event 201. And yeah, I need to catch up with you guys big time on here. All the birth charts that I've done for Pope Francis, Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana, one of the Schmepstein victims, and yeah, all of them are showing the exact same code. And yeah, the more that we look at these birth charts, the more that we're able to read what's going on here in this reality, and this massive indoctrination that's happened to us. And the A used to be the ox. It used to be our antennas that received the source, and now it's inverted, and that's what makes up the alphabet, and the algorithm, and the language, and the labels. So, yeah, I gotta charge my phone here, and I don't know when I'll do my next live here, but hopefully when my phone gets to stay on here, I'll do one as soon as possible. So, love you guys. Peace and light crease.